You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
Good Father's Day afternoon, one and all. The Kernels will pull the curtain down on the first half of the season with the series finale against the Beloit Snappers. The Kernels won a big one last night. Brad Kuhn extended his hitting streak to 13 games. Ryan Aldridge notched his 14th save, and Moose Mosbach garnered his first win since May 7th in a 5-4 Kernel victory that gave the ball club a 2-1 series lead as we finish up the first half. The Kernels are 4-3 on this 8-game homestand, and we have promised to have alongside Eric Munson, the outstanding young Kernel trainer, and we're going to pick it up right where we left off last night on this Sunday Father's Day afternoon. Kernel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, how about talking it over with Eric Munson for the second straight time?
Thank you, John. Welcome back, Eric. I'd like to talk about Eric before the Kernels. Were you an athletic trainer elsewhere before you came to the Angels and the Kernels?
Yeah, I was the trainer for the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders across the street, the hockey team.
Okay, how does that compare to baseball?
Well, they're somewhat similar, but they're mostly different. With those guys, the Rough Riders, it was more, just more acute injuries, just ones that kind of just happen at, lots of contusions, bruises, lots of stitches. These guys, it's a little bit more of a longer season, so things just kind of tend to develop over time, and you have the occasional, guys running into each other and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same. It's hot weather outside. We're Rough Riders here, sitting on a sheet of ice all day, so it's a little bit different, but it's a lot the same.
If you had to compare, who would you say is tougher, a hockey player or a baseball player?
Oh, you might get me in trouble with this one. I think with both sides you kind of have different type of athletes. Some can tolerate pain pretty good, some can't. So, with hockey players, we had some kids that, maybe had some small pain tolerances. And here with baseball, we've got guys that can tolerate some pain pretty good, some that can't. So I think it's pretty much the same.
Okay, let's talk about Eric in the future. What do you hope to do in your future? Do you want to stay a trainer for the Kernels, or do you want to go train elsewhere, or is this what you want to do for, well, I don't want to say forever, but for a long time, for a long period of time?
Yeah, hopefully. My plans are that I'll be returning back to physical therapy school in the off season at hopefully at the University of Iowa. My intentions are to come back at least to the Angels organization, if not necessarily here with the Kernels, but within the organization to either a different position or something. So that's about 3 years down the road, so that's kind of a long ways, but that's kind of my goal is to come back to our organization.
That's very interesting. Have you applied to physical therapy school yet, or is that something you're just still considering?
I haven't applied yet. I'm still in the process of finishing up some prerequisites. I'm taking some classes out at Kernel College in the off season, so I'll finish up there and I'll apply probably in October, November, and then hopefully I can get in. But if not, I'll just have to wait another year. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Okay. How do you feel about the physical therapy program no longer being a master's program? It's a PhD program now. Do you think that being a PhD program is a little more difficult? I know the curriculum is a little bit more difficult because it is a PhD, but how do you feel about that?
Well, I guess it's always kind of cool to think about I'll have that degree, I guess. But, I've talked to a lot of people that have went through the program, and they said, it's not like it's, mind-blowing or anything. It's definitely tough. I mean, if it wasn't tough, I guess it wouldn't be worth it. So I'm excited about it because I think if that's a degree you can get and earn, I think that's a pretty good thing. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
After you do go to physical therapy school and graduate with that degree, what do you hope to do after that?
With job permitting, I guess I'd like to come back to the Angels. I've been here for 2 years, and I like the system. I like the people. I like the way things are done. So hopefully, I'd like to come back to the Angels. If I can't, for some reason, come back right away, the clinic I work for, performance therapies there, I've pretty much been there for 2 years too, so they've, pretty much said that I can have a job there too. So either way, I know I've got a job somewhere, so those are my goals, either to stay in the clinic in the area or head back with the Angels.
Eric Munson is visiting with us on this Father's Day afternoon, final game of the first half, and Levita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, is conducting the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and she'll be back with the outstanding Colonel Trainer Eric Munson after this word from South Slope Communications. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Killer Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
It's Father's Day afternoon at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We had a wonderful brunch before the game for dads, and the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest was a big hit out on the parking lot. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill is conducting the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show with Colonel Trainer Eric Munson. And Eric, I want to step to the plate for just a moment and ask you about Jim West and Kelly Shear. Both were pitchers for us. Jim, a relief pitcher, Kelly, a starting pitcher, and they incurred very serious injuries that you had to initially look at and then refer to Dr. David Terse, the outstanding Colonel team physician. And why is the injury that Jim West and Kelly Shear suffered from, and I want you to explain it in technical terms, why has it become such a prevalent problem for pitchers?
Well, those two, they each suffered what's called an ulnar collateral ligament sprain. Jim had just had surgery last month, end of last month, and Kelly's still rehabbing a little bit. He's eventually going to have surgery done. For pitchers, that's a pretty, well, I guess baseball players in general, but I guess you kind of see it more with the pitchers with just the strain of throwing, as hard as you can, or, almost max effort every time. For them, it's pretty. It's a very considerable, almost a year-long process, 9 to 12 months process of rehab. It's just a ligament that helps support the medial side of the elbow, which is very important in throwing. So, those two. I think it's just kind of a freak thing that those two had them in the same year and less than a month apart. We were kind of curious as to if this is something that happens as often, but we've, just kind of talking to a few people, it's really not that prevalent, maybe one a year in a whole organization, but for me to have 2 in 1 month in the same team, and again, I had one last year, so I'm kind of bad luck, I think, for the injuries, so hopefully that doesn't continue that way, but, I think those two are going to bounce back. I guess you can say it's bad to have an injury, but if you're going to have an injury like that, it's going to take 10 to 12 months. They did it at the beginning of the season, and so hopefully with rehab and the way they do everything right and everything goes well like we plan, they should be back, hopefully around spring training time next year.
They will undergo what's known as
Tommy John surgery.
Levita Hill, you have done a lot in the realm of what Eric's describing with Jim West and Kelly Shear, rehab. It's a year rehab with Tommy John surgery. You've done work in the pool in your time at Physiotherapy Associates. Would you discuss with Eric what might be done with baseball players in a swimming pool in terms of either preventing injury or coming back from an injury?
In the pool, we would mostly do core or lower body activity since the pool is only 5 feet deep and these baseball players are quite tall. So we might not be very beneficial if they have the arm injuries. But if you were if they had a lower body or lower extremity injury, we might have them just do leg strengthening skills using the water resistance, or we have water dumbbells and different weights and belts and things like that.
Yeah, these guys, we actually just built a new complex we moved from Mesa to Tempe, Arizona, right next to the big league camp. And so it's all brand new, and so we actually just got a new Swimex into our stadium there, and so we're actually able to get a lot of our guys into the Swimex, and I guess it's probably one of the newer ones around, supposedly, I guess. So it's, these guys, like I say, they're a little tall, so we're able to actually get like a Jim West and a Kelly Shearer, who actually are both pretty tall guys. We're able to get them in there and doing a lot of the aqua exercise, which helps take a lot of stress off the joints and injuries that these guys occur.
I am unfamiliar with exercises you would do for the arms for the taller people. What type of water exercises would you have them do?
Same kind of stuff, like what you kind of have just with, like, we have the water dumbbells. You have, I guess, little things you put on the hand, help with water resistance stuff. So, I mean, it's just a simple, running in motion, or, doing a bicep curl, tricep extension type stuff in the water that helps kind of, helps still lower a little bit of the, strain on the muscles or the tendons, whatever that you're rehabbing. I guess, basically, with whatever you have, you can just be, kind of creative with everything. There's really no set standards. This is whatever you feel is going to work, and, if it doesn't bother the injury anymore, I guess it's always something that's going to be beneficial.
From your experience, have you seen that land therapy or water therapy, one works better than the other?
I think if you work them both together, I think they have their purposes and their times to be used within a rehab. You're probably going to use them a lot more, the water aqua therapy more at the beginning of a stage where you can take some of the stress and off the injuries and stuff. The land stuff is more when they're able to support themselves or be able to handle the stresses that they can now get through the rehab. So I think together they both serve a really good purpose.
Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill with Colonel Trainer Eric Munson on Father's Day. And Eric, a $5 gift certificate from Levita and I to you from Zio Giano's. So much good for so little money. Italian pasta that will make you and the Colonel Clubhouse sing from Zio Giano's. Eric Munson, enjoy your respite over the All-Star break. And Levita Hill, we are very thankful to Eric for his help.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Eric, for being on this program with us.
Thank you. I would like to say Happy Father's Day to my dad and all fathers.
Up next, series finale, Kernels versus the Snappers. We'll have the starting lineups next. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communications. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Good afternoon. Father's Day greetings from Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels conclude the first half of the season in quest of a win against Beloit. It's a wonderful, warm Sunday Father's Day afternoon, and let's give you the starting lineups for the final game of the first half between the 34 and 33 Beloit Snappers, Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Minnesota Twins, and the Kernels, 31 and 38, 4-3 on this 8-game homestand. Winners last night 5-4 behind Moose Mosbach and Ryan Aldridge. Aldridge with his 14th save, Mosbach with his first win since May 7th. Brad Kuhn drove in the go-ahead run, extending his hitting streak to 13 games with an RBI double in the 7th. The skipper of the Beloit Snappers is in his first year, 31-year-old Jeff Smith, a former catcher in the Twin organization. Here's his starting 9 this afternoon, Father's Day. Terrence Patterson in left field will lead it off. He's 4th in the league with 18 steals. Batting second for Beloit, Drew Thompson, the shortstop. Paul Kelly, the third baseman, ordinarily the shortstop, will be at the hot corner today, and Kelly will bat third. He's the Western Division starting shortstop Tuesday night in Davenport in the Midwest League All-Star Game. Batting cleanup, Eric Liss, and Liss is at first base for the Snappers. He's 4th in the league with a .317 average. Edward Ovali will be in center field and bat 5th for the Snappers. In right field, Eli Tintor hits 6th. Batting 7th and catching, Caleb Moore for the Snappers. Dwayne White is the designated hitter, and White will bat 8th. Batting 9th, the second baseman, Toby Gardenhire. On the hill is Kyle Waldrop. He's a good one, 6-2 with a 3.29 ERA. Kyle Waldrop is 20 years old, making his 14th start of the year, and a 3.29 ERA. Kyle Waldrop, a first-round pick of the Twins in 2004 from Knoxville, Tennessee, is on the hill today for the Snappers with his 6-2 record. Now, Allen Motor Company is proud to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Plush, lush, and affordably priced. That's the 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom at Allen Motor Company. Just $199 a month. For as low as $13,890, you can own a 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom with your first year's maintenance free. That's from Allen Motor Company. They're open until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Visit Allen's spectacular campus, I-380 and Boyson Road, Hiawatha. Leading off for the Kernels, he leads the league in steals with 23. Brad Kuhn. Brad is the owner of a 13-game hitting streak. Batting second, the Kernel shortstop, all-star Heinley Stacia. Hitting third in the Allen Motor Company order, Dallas Morris, the third baseman. Mark Trumbo's at first base. The cleanup batter's hitting .333 in the month of June. Batting fifth in the Allen Motor Company order, he leads the Kernels in homers and RBIs with 13 and 43 respectively. All-star Jordan Renz. Renz, the DH, will bat fifth. Hitting sixth and catching, Flip Whipke. Whipke's hitting .300 in this month of June. The Colonel's second baseman bats seventh in the Allen Motor Company order. That's Larry Infante. Madison Edwards will hit eighth in left field. And batting ninth, Anderson Rosario in right field. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup, he's been on a pitching tear of late. 18-year-old right-hander Tommy Mendoza. Tommy's 4-5 with a 5.11 ERA. He's making his 15th start of the year. He was our opening night starter back on April 6th to begin the season. A 4-0 loser at Pullman Field in Beloit. Tommy coming off a 4-3 win here Monday night against Fort Wayne. He went the distance, allowing the Wizards just 3 runs in 9 innings, striking out 7 and walking only 1. Tommy Mendoza has won 3 of his last 4 starts. The 18-year-old right-hander from Hialeah, Florida, on the hill for the Colonels on this Father's Day afternoon. Anderson and Brown Eye Care sponsors the announcement of our umpires. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is your comprehensive full-service eye care center, and that means that Anderson and Brown Eye Care can examine your eyes and then provide you with contact lenses and or glasses right on site. Their new location, I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha, easy in, easy out. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. On this 83-degree sunny Father's Day afternoon, let's pause, and to honor America, we're going to hear the playing and singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Today, your national anthem is presented by Wendy's, always around the corner of the United States military. Please stand.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed this afternoon by Vicki Muthers King.
Can you see by wonderly light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Vicki Muter's King with the national anthem on Father's Day. Settle in and relax. We've got baseball, Father's Day style here at the ballpark. This is the 8th and final game of a Colonel 8-game homestand, and we're glad you're with us. We want to make an important announcement about if you've ever dreamed of being in a movie, you can be an extra in a movie that's being filmed here Friday and Saturday morning. Come at 8 o'clock, and you can be in the movie The Final Season. We need extras. We need you in the cast, and you can come to the ballpark this Friday and Saturday, regardless of weather, as a stand-in cast member. Levita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, will have a little more on that. She was the one that gave me the good news earlier this morning that we need cast members for the movie The Final Season, and you're invited to come to be in the movie Friday and Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock. Well, Tommy Mendoza is taking his final warm-up pitches here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's Marion's Community Day here at the ballpark, and Gary Keppel of the Marion Chamber of Commerce. He's also on our board of directors, a prominent leader in the community. Gary Keppel will be along in the 4th inning to talk it over with us. Tommy Mendoza is set to go against Terrence Patterson, Drew Thompson, and Paul Kelly here in the top of the 1st inning. Down the chute it goes from Flint Whitkey to second baseman Larry Infante. 83 degrees is our game time temperature. This Beloit ball club has beaten the Kernels 4 out of 7. 3 out of 4 in Beloit to start the season. The Kernels have taken 2 of the first 3 here so far in this series. Terrence Patterson, a fire plug, 5'7", 170. Terrence didn't play last night. He started Beloit's 5-run 7th in their 5-2 win here Friday night with a base hit. And the game's first pitch at 2 o'clock high is a strike called at the knees to Terrence Patterson. We're underway, and glad you're with us. The sun is shining, but not so brightly that it affects the outfielder's vision. Strike 2 called to the 267 hitting leadoff batter. 4th in the league with 18 stolen bases, Terrence Patterson. Luvita Hill will also a little bit later this afternoon fill us in on all the Father's Day. Oh, here's a Texas League looper off the batter's fist into right. On an 0-2 pitch, Tommy Mendoza came inside and jammed Terrence Patterson. Terrence looped it over the head of Mark Trumbo into shallow right. Anderson Rosario gets it back in, and the Snappers have a runner at first with nobody out here in the top of the 1st inning. Boy, Patterson's only 5'7", but he was strong enough to dump that one into shallow right for a leadoff single. Now the batter is Drew Thompson. Drew's hitting .251 on the year, 2 homers, 10 RBIs. Drew is a switch hitter batting left, and Thompson is 3 for 13 in this series. He takes low, ball 1 from Tommy Mendoza. Wait till you hear what 4 pitchers are in the top 5 in the league in innings pitched this season. The top 4, all Kernels. Isn't that something? The top 4 in terms of durability. A ground ball foul by the switch hitter batting left, pass first. Strike 1 on Drew Thompson. He's a .251 hitter, a couple of homers, 10 RBIs. Drew singled and scored in the 1st inning last night, and then he started Beloit's 3-run 3rd with a 1-out double. Outfield plays Drew Thompson to go the other way. That's right, the top 4 innings pitched leaders are Kernels: Nick Aidenhart, Moose Mosbach, Stephen Merrick, and Tommy Mendoza. Tommy has pitched 86 in the 3rd innings this season. And a fastball is upstairs. It's 2-1 now to Drew Thompson. Well, the Marion Chamber of Commerce made a smart marketing move today. They gave out green fans to every person in attendance, and those fans are being waved with ferocity down below. A throw to first, and Terrence Patterson dives back in hand first. Tommy Mendoza's housemate, Larry Infante, who homered with 2 out to win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning Monday night and make Tommy a winner, is playing at second base. The 2-1. Ground ball, base hit into right field, and Terrence Patterson will stop at second. Boy, what a perfectly placed hit-and-run single by Drew Thompson. Wouldn't you know it, Larry Infante was leaving his second base position to cover second with Terrence Patterson moving, and Drew Thompson hit it hard on the ground into right, and it's first and second. Nobody out for Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly at the plate for the visiting Snappers. Well, I may ask Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill if she can bring over a little box fan I have nestled away in the corner over there, Luvita. We may plug that in and get some air circulating in here. It's rather hot. Paul Kelly takes a breaking pitch for a strike. Not that I'm complaining. Last Sunday it was 57 degrees and we were all huddled up in jackets, almost freezing. But, Luvita, I think what we'll do is have our good friend Logan, he's small enough he can crawl underneath the counter and maybe plug that in for us. Paul Kelly is the batter. And a throw to second, runner safe. Oh, that was close. That was close at second base. But Terrence Patterson just got back in time. And thanks to my little brother from Big Brother Big Sisters, I think Logan's able to plug in this little portable fan we have. He's doing his best, I'll tell you that. Here's a check swing on an 0-1 pitch, and strike two on Paul Kelly. Well, we're still going to try to figure this one out with this fan. Paul Kelly hitting .272, right-handed batter. And he went around on a high fastball. Yes, he did, says the base umpire. Logan Clark, thank you so much. We now have air for you and your friend Ben. Does that feel good, Ben? All right, guys. Just don't put your fingers too close to it. Paul Kelly struck out on a high fastball. One away. 2 on for the Snappers. I think Logan's using the fan to cool off an empty bottle of Dr. Pepper, so we won't need that for now. The batter is Eric Liss, left-handed hitter. Tommy Mendoza pumps in a fastball for strike one called. Boy, that was a big strikeout of Paul Kelly. Kelly was 5 for 11 in this series. Beloit's hitting .255 as a team. They're threatening here in the top of the first. They have Terrence Patterson at first, Drew Thompson at second base, and ball one is low to Eric Liss. Liss fourth in the league with a .317 average. He stands straight away from the left side. He does not wear batting gloves. Uses a white ash bat. Tommy's changeup just outside for ball two, and I mean that just missed. Eric Liss is from the University of Evansville. He's 6'1", 220, from the Chicago suburb of Palos, Illinois. Eric entered the game as a pinch hitter in the third inning last night. He doubled leading off the sixth in the Colonel 5-4 win. Swing and a miss on a Tommy Mendoza changeup. We know Nelson Mendoza and Angelinos Mendoza down in Hialeah, Florida, are hanging on every pitch, rooting for Tommy just as hard as we are. We have a good-sized crowd here today. And as I say, it's lucky they have a fan. I may ask broadcast assistant Luvita Hill to see if she can find any fans. Here's a ground ball to short off of Stacey's glove into left. A run will score to make it 1-0. A hard hit smash that Heinle tried to backhand. It was just hit too hard. Eric Liss has singled home Terrence Patterson to make it 1-0 Snappers here in the first inning. Eric Liss, with his 37th run driven into the year, hit a two-hop bullet on the backhand side of shortstop Heinle Stacia. Heinle got leather on it to slow it down, but it was hit too hard, and it's now 1-0 Beloit. They have runners at first and second, with one out here in the top of the first inning. Edward Ovali hitting .262, 2 for 4 last night, with a pair of RBI singles his first two trips up. Edwards, a right-handed batter. Leading away at second is Drew Thompson. Eric Liss aboard at first. A change-up, and that one's tipped foul off the shin guards of Flint Whipke. Tommy Mendoza in 86 in the third innings has allowed 89 hits, struck out 71, walked 19. This is his 15th start of the year. Who could have imagined that an 18-year-old would lead the Kernels in starts? But that's the great stamina that Tommy Mendoza has given the Kernels. Here's a throw to second, and the runner just got back, hand first. Edward Alvali is from the Dominican Republic. And he stands in from the right side. And loops one off his fist into shallow left. That's a base hit. And holding at third is Drew Thompson. A strong throw home by Madison Edwards. And the crowd cheers at Madison's strong peg that kept Drew Thompson from trying to score. Now the Snappers have the bases loaded with one out, and they have 4 hits in the inning. So Tommy Mendoza struggling out of the gates here a little bit. He made a good pitch to Edward Alvali, a fastball in on his hands, but Alvali fought it off and looped it into shallow left, a one-hop single in front of Madison Edwards. And here comes Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach. Kernan's going to have a heart-to-heart conversation with Tommy Mendoza, sponsored by Mercy Medical Center. Everyone says you've got a wonderful heart. Mercy Medical Center can help you keep it that way by you scheduling a heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. It's quick, easy, and convenient. It only costs $35. Most important, it could save your life. To schedule your heart-to-heart screening with Mercy Medical Center, call Mercy at 398-6821. That's 398-6821. Bases loaded, one out, and the batter for Beloit is Eli Tintor. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if Tommy Mendoza could get a strikeout, pop-up, or double play. Tintor, a right-handed hitter, fouls the first one high in the air into the Papa John's Plaza, the bleacher section down the right field line. Eli Tintor was 1 for 3 last night. He capped Beloit's 3-run third inning with the sacrifice fly. That sacrifice fly put the Snappers ahead in the game 4-3. Eli is from Hibbing, Minnesota, a twin 18th round pick in 2003. He's 21 years old. And he swings late and hacks the 0-1 pitch high into the screen close to the Colonel first base dugout. Strike 2. Thompson at third, Bliss at second, Edward Alvali at first. One out here in the top of the first inning, 1-0 Beloit. Mendoza's 0-2 is a check swing. Did the batter go around on the changeup low and away? Not according to the base umpire, Clint Fagan. Anderson and Brown Eye Care sponsors our umpires. Clint Fagan working the diamond, and his partner behind the plate, Isaiah Boykins. With the bases loaded, Eli Tintor laces a curveball foul up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Colonel first base dugout. On deck for the Snappers is Caleb Moore. Beloit in their gray road uniforms with blue numbers trimmed in white and blue socks. They're wearing their all-blue caps today instead of their green caps with blue bills. Tintor tips a pitch foul off the mask of Eli, or Clint Ripke rather, and Tommy Mendoza's pitch count is soaring here in the top of the first inning. You'd expect Tommy to have a little less energy on a day like today. It is hot and humid. And Tommy, coming off a complete game victory here Monday night, may be just a little bit fatigued at age 18. His fastball, 91 miles an hour, is high. And it's 2-2 to Eli Tintor. Tommy Mendoza pitched opening night for the Kernels against this Beloit team away back on April 6th. 12 weeks ago at Pullman Field, he was a 4-0 loser. He went 4 2/3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits in 4 2/3, struck out 2, walked 2. There's a breaking pitch in the dirt for ball 3. So Tommy really kind of feeling his way here in the top of the first inning. the league is only hitting .268 against Tommy Mendoza. With the bases loaded, Eli Tintor waits for the payoff pitch. Here it is. And he fouls it off to the right. It's a full count to Eli Tintor with the bases loaded and one out. Thompson at third, Bliss at second, Ovalle at first for the Snappers. Strike three called! A delayed call by Isaiah Boykins, but strike three it was, and there are two away here in the Beloit first inning. The number 7 hitter in the Snapper order is Caleb Moore. Caleb Moore hitting .286. 2 homers, 22 runs driven in. If Tommy can get Caleb Moore and get out of this first inning, the Kernels may just have a good day. Swinging a foul, straight back by the right-handed batter, strike one. Boy, those fans from the Marion Chamber of Commerce are going back and forth. They're green fans. And they are much welcomed on this hot and humid Father's Day afternoon at the ballpark. 0-1 pitch is a fastball on the outside corner. Strike two to Caleb Moore. My goodness, the Snappers have taken pitch after pitch after pitch here in the first inning. I shudder to think how many pitches Tommy has had to serve up, but with the bases loaded and 2 out and the Snappers ahead 1-0, let's see if Tommy Mendoza comes right after right-handed hitting Caleb Moore. He did, and a swing and a miss! Tommy Mendoza strikes out Eli Tintor looking, gets Caleb Moore on 3 pitches, a swinging strike 3 to end the Snapper first inning. For Beloit, 1 run, 4 singles. No Colonel errors. Tommy Mendoza struck out the side. The Snappers lead 3, and that is a big lift for the Kernels. Tommy Mendoza gutting it out in the top of the first inning, and despite giving up 4 singles, allowing only 1 run. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and the Snappers lead it 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Brad Kuhn leads off against right-hander Kyle Waldrop, a tall 6'6" right-hander who spins in a strike call to the Colonel left-handed batter. 1-0 Beloit. I'll take that back. Kyle Waldrop is 6'4", not 6'6". Brad takes outside for ball 1. Now Brad Kuhn lifts one into right, hit it well, but right over the head. It's caught by Eli Tintor. Eli Tintor misjudged it and had to streak back, reach high over his head to take a leadoff extra base hit away from the league's leading base stealer, Brad Kuhn. Brad gave the Kernels the lead 5-4 with a 2-out 7th inning RBI double. He's riding a 13-game hitting streak. He flies to deep right where Eli Tintor had to leap high to grab it. 1 out here in the Kernel first inning, and the batter is Heinle Stacia. Strike 1 to Heinle. Stacia, 0-for-4 last night, is 2-for-12 in the series. Hit his first home run of the year here in the Kernel Friday night 5-2 loss. He belted it in the 6th inning to put the Kernels ahead 2-0. Switch hitter batting left, strike 1 called, and the 1-1 is bounced to short, backhanded by Drew Thompson, throws just in time. Drew Thompson had that ball trickle out of his mitt, and when it laid at his feet, I thought for sure Heinle Stacia would beat it out. I thought Drew Thompson had made an error, but Thompson somehow recovered in time and just did nip Heinle Stacia. Heinle was batting left-handed, and he stroked it on 2 hops to short, and when Drew Thompson booted it, I thought Heinle would reach. 2 away here in the Kernel first inning, and the batter Dallas Morris. Dallas was a perfect 3-for-3 last night, drove in 2 with a Kernel 5, and a Kyle Waldrop fastball is a strike on the inside corner to right-handed hitting Dallas Morris. Dallas batting .224, 5 homers, 26 RBIs. A changeup is low, and it's ball 1 to Dallas Morris. Kyle Waldrop started 27 games for Beloit last year and posted a 6-11 record. So he's a seasoned Midwest League veteran. His fastball is over but low, and it's 2-1 to Dallas Morris. Waldrop was a winner his last time out Monday night at home against South Bend. Here's a tap on 1 hop past the mound to shortstop near the bag. Drew Thompson gloves it and pegs out Dallas Morris. Kyle Waldrop protects his team's 1-0 lead as he retires the Kernels 1-2-3 across in the bottom half of the first inning. We go to the top of the second. Happy Father's Day to one and all. After 1, Beloit leads the Kernels 1-0, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
what you're looking for. Just
Left-handed batting Dwayne White is first up on this sunny Father's Day Sunday afternoon. Dwayne in 41 games batting .213. And ball 1 is taken low by the left-handed hitter. Dwayne White singled leading off the 4th inning last night. He was 1 for 4, and he's 3 for 9 in the last 2 games. The next pitch is low. That was a fastball from Tommy Mendoza. The Kernel outfield today has Madison Edwards in left. Brad Kuhn is in center, shifted way around to left center, and Anderson Rosario in right. Dwayne White lifts one in the air right where Brad Kuhn was positioned in left center. Brad has his glasses down and uses his glove to shield his eyes from the sun, and Dwayne White's pop fly into left center is grabbed by Brad Kuhn. 1 away here in the Beloit second inning. The Snappers lead it 1-0. Well, let's get to our baseball fun fact early this afternoon. We told you about Ford Frick being the commissioner of baseball, and he was the one that ordered an asterisk to be placed next to Roger Maris's 61 home run season in 1961 because Ford Frick felt it was unfair that Maris hit his 61 home runs in a 162-game schedule, whereas the man whose record he broke, Babe Ruth, hit his 60 home runs in a 154-game schedule. Ball too high to Toby Gardenhire. Now Toby golfs it into shallow center. Coming on is Brad Kuhn, but going out is Larry Infante. And Larry Infante makes the grab in shallow center field on Toby Gardenhire's pop fly. 2 away here in the Beloit second inning. Snappers on top, 1-0. Well, even though Ford Frick ordered that hated asterisk next to Roger Maris's 1961 single-season home run record of 61, we told you it was because Ford Frick was a personal friend of Babe Ruth and used to ghost write articles for him and cover him as a sports writer earlier in his life. Our baseball fun fact today sheds light on something very positive Ford Frick did when he was commissioner or president of the National League. 1 ball, 1 strike to Terrence Patterson. The leadoff batter is 5'7". He has a hole in his britches from sliding in the first inning. He singled leading off the game and scored the game's only run. Strike 2 is called at the knees to Terrence Patterson. The hole is in the back of his gray road trousers right behind his hamstring, his right hamstring. And he swings at a high fastball rather, and fouls it straight back. When Ford Frick was president of the National League from 1935 to 1951, he made a very important decision when the St. Louis Cardinals, strike 3 called, a changeup on the outside corner, freezes Terrence Patterson, who glares back at the plate umpire, Isaiah Boykins. A quick 1-2-3 inning for 18-year-old right-hander Tommy Mendoza. We'll finish up with our baseball fun fact about what Ford Frick did when the St. Louis Cardinals threatened to go on strike in protest of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in 1947. We'll have that for you when the Kernels bat in the lower half of the second inning. After an inning and a half, the Snappers lead it 1-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
Did you know that June is Perennial Gardening Month? Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant expert with the best selection in town. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. For more selection of quality perennials, Peck will help you select the right perennials for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, Peck will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll through our many acres of plants and flowers. Stop by to visit the plant people at Peck as you start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping, at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill will stay right alongside after our baseball fun fact. Luvita will be recognizing and thanking the groups that are with us here this afternoon. Mark Trumbo will lead off against the Snappers for the Kernels. Trumbo's hitting a lofty .333 in the month of June. .229 hitter overall. And he takes Kyle Waldrop's first pitch low for ball 1. Our baseball fun fact, Ford Frick was president of the National League from 1935 until 1951. Trumbo tips the 2-1-0 pitch foul to the left of home plate, strike 1. Ford Frick took a stance against the St. Louis Cardinal players who threatened to strike after Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier in 1947. Here's a hard-hit ball wrapped to short, gobbled up by Drew Thompson. He has his third assist already of the afternoon. 3 straight Kernels have grounded out to shortstop Drew Thompson. Kyle Waldrop has retired 4 Kernels in a row. 1-0 in favor of Beloit here in the bottom of the second inning. Ford Frick was very direct in his stance against the Cardinal players who threatened to go out on strike against Jackie Robinson's breaking the color barrier. He said, I don't care if it wrecks the league for 10 years. If you strike, you're through. In other words, he told the Cardinal players that if they went on strike, they would be banned from baseball. It's 2-0 now to Mark Trumbo. Excuse me, it's 2-0 to Jordan Renz. Mark Trumbo is grounded out sharply to shortstop. Renz hitting .248, tied for the league lead in home runs with 13. Jordan's grounds one to the left side, underneath the glove of the third baseman Paul Kelly, and that's the first Colonel hit of the afternoon. Jordan Renz single to the left of the third baseman. Paul Kelly, ordinarily a shortstop, broke to his left, but just didn't have enough range to get to that ground ball base hit by Jordan. Renz with the team-high 43 RBIs is at first as the tying run, and the batter now for the Kernels is Flint Whipkey. Flint has had a couple of nights off, and he breaks his bat and loops one to short. It's caught. The throw to first, not in time. Jordan Renz with great base running got back ahead of the throw by Drew Thompson. Flint Whipkey, who hasn't played since Thursday night's series opening 3-2 Colonel win, broke his bat and hit a soft liner to shallow short. Drew Thompson came in and caught it and then threw to first, but Jordan Renz got back in time. Larry Infante's at the plate. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill. We have a good gathering of people out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left field. It's not jam-packed. Here's a line drive on the ground underneath the second baseman's legs into right field. Larry Infante, as always, swinging at the first pitch, and he hit one on one hop between the legs of Toby Gardenhire, the second baseman. An error on Gardenhire sends the tying run. Renz to second. First and second, 2 out here in the second. 1-0 Beloit. Madison Edwards, the batter. Luvita, who's on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion on Father's Day?
We have Principal Financial and University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, Department of Anesthesia.
You need to be put to sleep.
No, I do not. No.
I don't either, but when we go to the hospital, we're sure glad there are trained anesthesiologists.
That's right, and we're glad they get the opportunity to rest and relax until they have a break and so they're not overworked and stressed.
That's exactly right. Kyle Waldrop has just struck Madison Edwards to load the bases. That's the 12th batter that the right-hander Waldrop has hit this season. And Jordan Renz, who singled with 1 out, goes to third. Larry Infante, who reached on a 2-out error by second baseman Drew Thompson, goes to second. Madison Edwards is hit, and now with the bases loaded and 2 out, Anderson Rosario at the plate. For Luvita Hill, I'm going to make you a restaurant critic. You and I were 2 of the first people to enjoy the Father's Day brunch here at the ballpark at 10 o'clock this morning. What did you have, and how did you like it?
Oh, my goodness, there's so much food. I had French toast. I had the fresh fruit, which was really fresh. I also had the hash browns. What else did I had? A lot on my plate.
I know you love that French toast.
And I had some type of banana. It was warmed bananas that were seasoned.
Yes. I had 2 steaks, believe it or not.
Wow. How were your steaks?
Absolutely mouth-watering delicious.
They look good. They look like whoever cut them did a good job cutting them and getting all the fat off. They look good.
Yes. Randy Bear and Aaron cut the steaks. Ball 1 to Rosario, and now Anderson fouls one away to the right. Boy, the brunch, I'd say 400 or 500 people enjoyed brunch here at the ballpark on Father's Day from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And then the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest was a huge hit. We'll have Luvita talk about that in a moment. The 1-1 to Rosario is a bouncer to third, cut off by Paul Kelly. He lobs to first from near the mound to get Anderson Rosario to end the Colonel's second inning. No runs for the Colonels in the second. 1 hit, an error by the Snappers, a hit batter. The Colonels loaded the bases with 2 out, but Anderson Rosario taps out to third, and the Colonels leave the bases full. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Beloit leads the Kernels 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Pepsi Smash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when you call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmooths.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmooths.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8606. Ringtones must be downloaded by 82006. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Leading off for the Snappers in their top of the third inning is Drew Thompson, and he takes a changeup from Tommy Mendoza for a strike called. Drew Thompson singled in the Snapper one-run first inning. They lead at 1-0 as we go to the third, and ball one is taken low by the switch hitter batting left, Drew Thompson. Good-sized crowd here on Father's Day. Drew Thompson slaps one into left, right at the feet of Madison Edwards, who has to play it on one hop, and Drew Thompson's 2 for 2. He didn't hit that ball well at all, but was able to loop it in front of Madison Edwards for a leadoff single here in the Beloit third inning. Remember, you can be in the movie The Last Season about the vaunted Norway, Iowa baseball team. We're looking for extras to serve in a multiple crowd shots, Friday morning and Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, regardless of weather. You could be a Hollywood star in the movie The Final Season. A throw to first, and Drew Thompson dives back safely. Beloit is out hit as 5-1, and the Snappers lead it 1-0. Here in the top of the third, Jeff Smith, the Beloit skipper, is flashing a series of signals to his runner at first, Drew Thompson. Paul Kelly, the batter, struck out in the first inning. A throw to first, and diving back in is Thompson. Drew has 5 steals and 8 tries. Beloit is 8th in the 14-team Midwest League. They have 61 steals. The Kernels lead the Midwest League in stolen bases with 89. The first pitch to Paul Kelly is high for ball one. That was a fastball. Kyle Waldrop, the right-hander for Beloit, loaded the bases with 2 out in the second, but got Anderson Rosario to bounce out to shallow third to end the best Kernel scoring chance of this young afternoon. A throw to first, and diving back in safely is Anderson, who's 2 for 2. Kelly lays off a changeup in the dirt, and Flint Whipkey is going to trot out to the hill to have a word with Tommy Mendoza. Welcome to MMS Consultants. They're on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace this afternoon, enjoying the sunshine and the warm temperatures. A week ago today, can you believe it, we were visiting with Denise Teagles from Physicians Clinic of Iowa. They were on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. It was 57 degrees. Last Sunday, hard to believe, it was 57 degrees. Ball 3 high, a delayed steal attempt by Drew Thompson, and he makes it on a head-first slide. Delayed steal, Thompson took off when after Tommy Mendoza threw ball 3 to Paul Kelly, And Flint Whipke had to double pump his throw to Larry Infante. The second baseman was accurate but late. And now the Snappers have a runner at second with nobody out. The 3-0. Strike one called. Boy, Tommy Mendoza's pitch count is alarmingly high here in the third inning. He really labored in the first inning, gave up 4 hits but only 1 run, struck out the side. Tommy had an easy go of it, retiring Beloit in order in the second. His 3-1 to Paul Kelly with the runner at second. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Rick Novak is out in the Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall Whirling Waters home run hot tub today. Rick Novak, welcome. He looks like he's having a splashingly good time in the home run hot tub. Ooh, a 3-2 pitch, a curve outside, and Paul Kelly draws a walk. It's first and second, nobody out for the Snappers here in the third. They lead it 1-0, and the batter is Eric Liss. Eric Liss laced an RBI single into left field his first time up. Eric is tied for the league lead with 24 doubles. This is game number 70 of 70 for the Kernels in the first half. Our record at home, 16-18. On the road, we finished up 15-20. Swing and a miss as Tommy Mendoza took something off that first delivery and had Eric Liss way out in front. Two on, nobody out for the Snappers as they try to add to their 1-0 lead. Liss is a left-handed batter, and a changeup is low, ball 1. Boy, the Snappers have been making Tommy Mendoza throw a ton of pitches here in the early going, and they've been working Tommy deep into counts. 90% of the red seats in the grandstand are full today. The Plaza section is about 30% occupied. Down the right field line. Eric Liss pops one up to the left side of the Colonel infield. Hindley Stacia calls for it and puts it away. 1 out here in the Beloit third inning. Eric Liss, a .317 hitter, sliced it off to the left, and Hindley Stacia caught it for the first out here in the Beloit third inning. Our pitching staff is ranked 6th in the 14-team Midwest League with a 3.52 team earned run average. Against Beloit, though, our pitching staff in 7 games has a 2.80 earned run average. 2.80. Edward O'Valley at the plate. 2 on, 1 out, 1-0 Snappers, top of the third, and a fastball misses inside to O'Valley, a right-handed hitter. Edward is hitting .262. He's bopped 6 homers, driven in 29 runs for the Beloit Snappers. The Colonel outfield plays him to pull. Brad Kuhn is a couple of steps into left center. Anderson Rosario way off the line in right. Ball 2 is in tight to Edward O'Valley. Edward drove in runs with RBI singles last night in the first and third innings. Went 2 for 4. He fakes a bunt, and that didn't disconcert Tommy Mendoza one bit. Tommy brings in strike 1 called. Oh, those lazy, hazy days of summer. We've got one today, Father's Day. Will the runners go on 2-1? No, and Edward O'Valley cranks the 2-1 pitch foul off the Beloit third base dugout railing. It ricochets into shallow left where Madison Edwards tosses it to a fan on the grass slope seating berm. Two on, 1 out. The 2-2 for Mendoza. Ski right, 3 called. Edward O'Valley is carved up by the Colonel 18-year-old right-hander. That's Tommy's 5th strikeout of the afternoon. And after the Snappers put their first 2 men on, Tommy Mendoza gets the cleanup batter to pop to short, strikes out Edward O'Valley looking, and now he'll face Eli Tintor. Tintor, a right-handed hitter with an open stance, struck out looking his first time up. Eli pops the first pitch foul, straight back, strike one. Tintor is 2 for 8 in this series. Make it 2 for 9 after he struck out looking in the first inning. Thompson at second, Kelly at first for Beloit. 2 out in the Snapper third. They lead at 1-0, and Mendoza misses inside with a fastball. The Kernels are in their white home uniforms with navy blue caps, red bills, red numbers trimmed in black. All of the Kernels wearing their white home trousers down to their shoe tops. Tommy Mendoza holds the ball back behind his belt buckle, checks the runner at second, and his breaking pitch is low and away for a ball. Tony Pantini has come up to say hello. Good, we have found Logan Clark's. Thank you very much, Tony. They're downstairs with Levita getting some refreshments, but when they come back up, thank you, Tony Pantini, very much. Tony Pantini with an urgent message. Here's a ground ball to third, and Morris feeds the second baseman, Larry Infante, to end the inning. Eli Tintor bounces into a third base to second base force out of Paul Kelly, and after the first 2 reach for Beloit in the third, Tommy Mendoza prevented the Snappers from adding to their 1-0 lead. Oh, Tommy Mendoza with some terrific pitching to get out of the third inning, first and second, nobody out jam. No runs for Beloit in the third, 1 hit, a stolen base, a walk, there were no Colonel errors, and the Snappers leave 2, they've stranded 5. We go to the home half of the third inning. On Father's Day, sunny and hot, the Kernels trail the Snappers 1-0. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. Bottom of the third inning on Father's Day, Brad Kuhn tries to punt his way on, and the catcher bare hands and throws, not in time! Brad Kuhn is the tying run at first with nobody out. Brad's bunt, 10 feet up the third base line, was barehanded by Paul Kelly, who threw not in time. And in time is Gary Keppel, the president of the Marion Chamber. Gary, I'm proud to share some great news with you. Brad Kuhn, with that leadoff bunt single, has now hit safely in 14 straight games.
He's on a roll.
Oh, yes, he is. Now, Gary, let's see if Brad will try to run, or if the Colonels hit and run, or bunt and run. We'll see. There goes Brad. Now he stops. Heinley Station bashes one way back in left center, drifting back Edward O'Valley in deep left center to make the catch. Kuhn went all the way to second and now returns to first base.
I think Brad's still leading the league in stolen bases, so hopefully we can get him over to second there pretty quick.
You bet, Gary. Well, Gary, I said earlier that whoever's idea it was to promote Marion through the green fans, I think they're the most popular piece of apparatus that we could have today.
It just looks like you're just trying to generate so much air out here today. It's a little hot and sticky, but it's great with all those fans. I turned around and Deb Doherty and the crew over at Chapel Ridge Marion just came up with that idea, and it was a perfect thought on a day like today.
Oh, brother, hot and humid, just what we want. Remember last week, Gary, it was 57 degrees here?
I remember it well. I had to go to a wedding that was on a deck overlooking Sailorville Lake down in Des Moines at 5 o'clock Sunday night. So that was a little cool.
Yes. Gary Keppel is not only the president of the Marion Chamber of Commerce, he helped put together this great turnout on Father's Day from our sister or brother city, Marion, but Gary's also prominent in the community and also has served, Gary, I would guess, how many years on our board?
I was on for part of the year from 80 to 81, but then I got back on full-time in 88, so it's been 18 years now.
And Gary has put countless numbers of hours, days, weeks, months in, and has been so helpful to me when I first broke in, Gary. I don't know if you remember this, but you were kind enough to come up the first several months and kind of help me out. I didn't know anything about the equipment. I was brand new to the Kernels. Dallas Morris takes high for a ball, and I want you to know that that meant a lot to me. It was 11 years ago, and I didn't know too many people here.
Well, it's hard to believe it's been that many years. I remember listening to your tape. You probably don't know this, but we drove through a huge snowstorm to go down and meet with Dave Walter at Burlington.
Kuhn is running to throw to second, not in time, and as Gary said, Brad adds to his league-leading stolen base total. That's his 24th. Dallas Morris took a strike, and Brad Kuhn is in scoring position here in the third inning. So you guys essentially on the board had to serve as an audition committee.
Well, actually, I think it was more Jack listening to it while he was driving, and we were just white-knuckled because literally it was a storm that actually several people got killed down on Highway 218, and we didn't hear about that until after we got back. But
yes,
we drove through it, and they just reopened 218. We got to Burlington, and so we listened to some of those tapes on the way down there.
Well, thanks, Gary. There's a pitch low and away, and it's 2-1 to Dallas Morris. We're in the bottom of the third. The Kernels have the tying run at second. Brad Kuhn, 1 out, here on Marion Day at the ballpark. Morris was 3 for 3 yesterday with an RBI. The tall right-hander delivers. Low, a changeup. Go ahead, Gary.
I was going to say we could use one of those hits and RBIs right now to tie this thing up.
We sure could. Dallas and his teammates were all over the concourse, as every family Sunday they are, signing autographs before the game, and boy, has that been a great new addition to our promotional calendar. Dallas Morris slices one over the head of the first baseman down the right field line. It falls foul by inches. Foul by inches. That would have tied the game. Gary, you played baseball professionally with the Expos, went to training camp with them, and as a right-handed batter, that ball always seems to tail.
Well, it's always a tail to the line, and what most people don't realize is foul ball on the home plate is going to curve back toward home plate. So oftentimes you see younger catchers in particular, they'll overplay it and not play that carom or that spin.
That's right. You're right. Whenever there's a foul pop behind home plate, it's a 50-50 proposition at this level of professional baseball, whether the catcher will catch it.
Well, you work on that a lot in spring training, I can tell you that much. So
here's the 3-2 to Dallas, and he clubs it to shortstop. Booted by the shortstop. Brad Kuhn's going to try to score. Terrence Patterson, no throw. We're tied here in the third inning. 1-1. Dallas Morris put the ball in play. Drew Thompson let it leak through his mitt in between his legs. Kuhn stopped at third. Eric Owens furiously, it's Bobby Giannis coaching again at third today. Bobby waved home Kuhn. We're tied 1-1 here in the third inning. And Gary Keppel, I want to get your reaction to this. I think Brad Kuhn flashing in front of Drew Thompson distracted him or screened him. I think it was the reason he missed it.
I think he got a little distracted, and his pinky primals will always say he forgot to get his skirt down. So
yes, he forgot to get the tailgate down. Exactly right. These are all fundamentals that sometimes, even at this level, can be misplayed. Ball one inside to the red-hot Mark Trumbo. Well, Gary, I know you took some valuable time before the game to thank the sponsors who helped put this great turnout together from Marion. And here on the air, in just a moment, I want you to recognize some of those great Marion folks again. A change-up, a swing and a miss by Mark Trumbo. It's 1-1. The sun shining brightly. The Kernels have tied the game here in the home half of the third without getting the ball out of the infield. It's 1-1.
Yeah, we had some great sponsors that help us this year, including Chris Oberbachling from Farm Bureau. And
here's a man picked off. Dallas Morris was caught flat-footed, and he's picked off. The caught stealing goes 1-3, and there are 2 out here in the Kernel third inning.
Yeah, we've had too many of those this year. Just kind of,
yep.
A lot of left-handers picking us, but that was just right-hander caught him flat-footed, like you said. Good former State Bank, Gilchrist, Jewett, Lumber, Trans Suffolk, virtual assistant, Legacy Manufacturing, Lewis Systems, Lynn Co-op, and Mid-American Energy were our main sponsors, and then the Exclusive Looks and Chapel Ridge Marion were the 2 higher donors, so they got on the field before the game. And as you talked about earlier, Chapel Ridge gave away these great fans, and even my friend Dane Kester, who came up here with me today, got one of those fans when he got in here.
I recognize Dean. I think he was down below with us before the game. Trumbo leans back from a pitch right underneath his chin, and that's ball 3. And, Gary, you've been in that position to all of a sudden have to kind of duck for cover, and that's not to say that Kyle Waldrop was throwing at Trumbo, but he was probably trying to loosen him up.
Well, he may have been, and it happened earlier this year where Dallas Morris got knocked down. He hit one right back to the middle, so that's what you always try to do.
That's right. You hit one right back at the pitcher. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Strike 2 to Mark on the outside edge. Gary Keppel is with us. He's on the board of directors for the Cedar Rapids Baseball Club Incorporated, otherwise commonly known as the Kernels. Payoff pitch is tapped back to the mound. That's exactly what Mark tried to do, is whistle one back towards Waldrop, but Mark topped it and chops back to the hill. The comebacker ends the Kernel third inning. 1 run, though, for the Kernels on a bunt single by Kuhn, who extends his inning streak to 14. He steals his league-high 24th base, scores on an error by shortstop Drew Thompson. 1 hit, 1 error. Kernels leave nobody on, had a man picked off. Because we have the leeway to do so, we're going to keep it right here with Gary Keppel. And, Gary, you have been a part of this organization for a number of years, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about the quality of kids we've had here, not only the Brandon Woods and Howie Kendricks and McPherson, Mathis and Kochman and Santana and Shell. We've had some great players. You've gotten to know the guys through interacting with them and through your host family experience, and I think the Angels have done a very good job in developing or drafting kids with good integrity.
They really have. That's one of the things we like about it is they've just had quality kids. Whether they're going to make the major leagues or not, the chances are really pretty slim, although we've had some great guys come through and make it. It's just great to see they are good people, and some of them come back and visit you again. And I still keep in touch with a couple of them that have stayed with us, including Jake Mathis. He got released, and he's married now, living down in Marianna, Florida. But we still talk to those kids once in a while, and they've gone on to become very good citizens. And he completed his engineering degree and is doing well down there. And of course, we went over to Salt Lake Des Moines May 13th to see Salt Lake play, and there were 8 of the guys on the roster, so we had a chance to talk to Jeff and a couple of the other kids. So.
Well, Gary, that's a great report. So Jake Mathis, Jeff's older brother, who played here a few years ago, didn't you host him as a host family?
We had Jake, and we had James Holcomb in the summer of 2003.
Well, that's great that Jake is married and he has his engineering degree.
You bet. He's doing well, and James is back throwing again. He's up at Arkansas.
Double-A, sure.
He's having kind of a tough year in terms of wins and losses. I think he's 0-4, but his ERA's been pretty good, so I think he's got the Moose Mosbach syndrome there. We're not getting many runs for him.
You bet, lack of run support. Well, Gary, that's great. I'm glad to hear you went over to Des Moines to see the AAA Salt Lake Bees. Man, that might be the best AAA team in baseball with, I think you said, 8 former Kernels. Here's a bunt attempt by Caleb Moore. It pops foul outside of third. Caleb, a right-handed hitter. 1-1 our score, top of the 4th inning. And a curve is high and in, ball 1 to Caleb Moore. Gary, did you have a chance to say hi to some of the former Kernels at Principal Sec Taylor Stadium?
Well, we had a chance to talk to Jeff for quite a bit, and the other guys were Stephen Shell had just gotten there. He's kind of fighting off a virus, so we didn't get a chance to talk to him, but talked to Adam Pavkovich for a couple minutes and talked to Matty for about an hour and a half after the game.
Oh.
We stayed at the same hotel, so we hosted him for a little bit at the end of 2002, and then his brother fall of 2003. We kind of got to know the the whole family, so it was good to see him for a while.
Oh, that's a great progress report. I'm glad you and your family went over to Des Moines. Caleb Moore pulls one right down the third baseline on 3 hops. It's backhanded by Dallas Morris. The long throw across the diamond gets Caleb Moore. Gary, I'm amazed to see in the Midwest League year after year the arm strength of left sides of infields. Heinle Stacia amazes me with his play in the hole at short. That play by Dallas Morris. If you ever go down on a diamond at my age and look at the distance between third and first, I couldn't even two-hop it to first base.
Well, it's a lot longer than it used to be, John.
Yeah, for me too, Gary. Like that's increased as my age has.
We had an alumni game down at Iowa City a couple of years ago, and boy, they lengthened those distances sometimes when I played.
Here's a high drive into deep right, and it's over the head of Anderson Rosario all the way to the base of the 403 sign. Dwayne White will speed to third, and the relay throw by Infante is not in time. It's a one-out triple by Dwayne White, his first triple of the year. I'm not sure if Anderson Rosario got a late break on that or if he took a invalid route. It looked...
He took a bad route.
Yeah. I wondered, Gary.
He didn't go to where the ball was going to be. He took it like he was going to die and come down to him. And he just didn't play that one well at all.
That ball might have been caught, but Anderson, as Gary said, took the wrong route to it. It sailed over his head for a triple, and now the Kernels bring their infield in, at least the right side of the infield. Heinle Stacia is still playing back, and so's now Larry Infante. So the Kernels are willing to trade a run for an out here. Toby Gardenhire, the number 9 hitter at the plate. Grounds one to short. Stacia will throw to first, and it's 2-1 in favor of Beloit on a Toby Gardenhire RBI ground out to short. A little bit surprising to me, Gary, with all the trouble our club has had scoring runs this season, that we would let the number 9 hitter stroke one to short to drive in a run. I would think with the number 9 hitter up, you might bring your infield in and cut that go-ahead run down at the plate.
Hindsight's 20/20. That was one of those ground balls that would have been right at shortstop even if it's in, but
yes,
you just raise the percentages of guys getting hit when you play in like that.
In a big inning, you're right. A bunt to the right side, and Tommy Mendoza sprints off the hill and tags out Terrence Patterson to end the inning. Quite an athletic move by Tommy Mendoza. He sprinted to his right, gloved that bunt by the right-handed batter, then Patterson dove headlong trying to dodge the tag by Mendoza, but Tommy got him for the final out of the inning.
There's a lot of good teamwork by the umps on that, too, so it's good to have them back now.
Oh, brother.
Fill-ins did a great job, but these guys get paid to do it, so it's good to have them back.
It sure is, Gary. We're going to have another half inning, at least with Gary Keppel, if he can stay. In the 4th inning, 1 run for the Snappers, 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. The Beloit team leaves nobody on. They've stranded 5. Colonels come to bat in the lower half of the 4th with the Snappers leading it 2-1. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Beloit took the lead in this game in the top of this 4th inning, a triple and an RBI ground out. 2-1 Snappers, ball 1 outside to Jordan Renz. High drive! Gary, you describe where it lands.
It's over on 8th Avenue on somebody's car, probably.
Listen to the crowd, Gary.
He just said we wanted to take one swing and tie it up, and he did.
Gary Keppel, between innings, said, John, maybe Jordan can step into the first or second pitch and tie it up, and that's what Jordan Renz has done. A mammoth, prodigious home run to tie the game 2-2. Renz is 2 for 2. It's his league-high 14th home run of the year, high and deep down the left field line, and no doubter. And as Gary Keppel said, it's in somebody's lawn across 8th Avenue. Wow, did Jordan Renz ever belt that one a long, long way out of here. Now here's a high pop foul in front of first base off the bat of Clint Whipke. It's caught by Eric Liss for the first out here in the Colonel 4th inning. We're tied at 2, and Gary Keppel, you know these kids very well, and I'll tell you what, that's pretty darn impressive for you to say, John, I think Jordan's going to get a hold of one and tie the game. How did you know it might be coming?
He had sit out a few games. I think he's been pretty restless to get back in there, and as you and I talked about, it was his right shoulder he hurt, so he hadn't been able to play in the outfield yet, so that's a place where he can do some damage, and it's great to see him come back from a tough year last year.
Yes, it is. Jordan has really applied himself this season. He's worked tirelessly with Eric Owens, the Colonel hitting coach, and Jordan has earned his starting position on the Western Division All-Star team. That's his league-high 14th home run. It's another $25 from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir, and PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. Larry Infante spanks a ground ball base hit underneath Kyle Waldrop's glove into center, and the Kernels have the go-ahead run on here in the bottom of the 4th inning with only 1 out. Larry Infante singling through the box.
I think Larry's been hitting a little better ever since Tommy Mendoza's dad was in here, and I don't know what Nelson was yelling to him, but it was all in Spanish, and I wish I knew it a little bit better, but Larry was listening to him. He continues to hit now that Nelson's going back to Florida. So
Nelson Mendoza, I know you're smiling ear to ear. That's Gary Keppel acknowledging not only your love of your son Tommy, but your friendship with Tommy's best friend Larry Infante. And Nelson, I had no idea you were helping Larry Infante with his hitting. There you go, Nelson. That's, you say you love us and you cherish us. Well, it's the same here in Cedar Rapids.
Well, and then he stayed up here, even though the team he's coached for many years went on to win the state title down there in Florida. So we're looking forward to having Nelson and his wife back again sometime this summer. And Tommy kind of got over the hump a little bit. He was struggling there early in the first half, and now I think he's, as we've seen today, he's throwing better. And the other night he went 9 and got up to 95, 97 in the 9th inning. So he left it all on the mound that night and got the win.
Yes, he did, Gary.
So Larry had that 2-run home run for him.
That's right. Madison Edwards was hit by a pitch his first time up, and Kyle Waldrop's 0-1 is a change-up high. Kyle Waldrop's wearing his dark blue socks up high, the old-fashioned way. Every one of his teammates, the snappers, wear their gray road trousers down to their shoe tops.
Hey, John, I was going to compliment you on that Run for Life promotion. That was the neatest thing. That all the people in the stands stood up and
thank you.
Having a standing ovation. He's just a really great little kid and a wonderful family. They said, well, you want your sister or your dad to go out on the field with him? And I said, no, I want to do it myself. So in 3 years of life, he's been through a lot, and I know he's got a lot of heaven, but he's got a bright future now that he got the cancer cured.
Gary, thank you very much. That was inspiring by Evan Rosel and his family. They came all the way from Knoxville, Illinois, to enjoy that University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics Home Run for Life, and thank you. Here's a line shot by Madison Edwards. Oh, it's caught by Eli Tintor, who turns it in to an inning-ending double play. Tough hitting luck for Madison as he hit a scalding liner that hung up more than Gary and I thought it would. We were wishing it to go down, but Tintor caught it and turned it into a 9-3 inning-ending double play. 1 run on the leadoff homer by Renz. The Haycap Food Reservoir receives another $25 donation from PRC's Community Care. The 42nd home run by the Kernels this year, $1,050 now in the Haycap Food Reservoir treasure. Thanks to PRC. 1 run for the Kernels on 2 hits. There were no Beloit errors, and the Kernels leave no one. Well, Gary Keppel, I'm going to leave it up to you and your friend Dean. Would you like to stay another half?
I think Dean and I are going to have to head back down. We got all the family down there. All the kids came out today, so we appreciate everything you do, John. Thanks again for a great promotion today, and we'll be back up again soon, right, Dean?
Gary, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, John.
You don't know all that Gary Keppel does for this ball club. He's very humble. Thank you, Gary, and for putting this Marion Day together. Dean, enjoy the rest of the day. We go to the top of the fifth inning, and it's the Kernels 2, the Snappers 2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butter Burgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Kernels Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Kernels players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Drew Thompson singles, swinging at the first pitch from Tommy Mendoza. He's at first here in the top of the fifth as the go-ahead run. 2-2 our score. Drew Thompson's 3 for 3. Paul Kelly takes low for ball one. Drew Thompson singled into right in front of Anderson Rosario to start the fifth inning. Logan Clark is leaning out the window. Or it's Ben leaning out the window, and he sees his dad. And I see Logan Clark's mom, Monique Clark, sitting above the Beloit third base dugout. Logan Clark is my little brother in the Big Brother, Big Sister program. He's a 6-year-old at Polk Elementary School, and he enjoyed the Principal Family Fun Fest on the parking lot before today's game. Ball two is upstairs to Paul Kelly. Beloit's out hit is 7-4. We're tied here in the fifth, 2-2. A throw to first, and diving back in is Drew Thompson. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization last night. The Angels yesterday at Angel Stadium in Anaheim clipped the Padres in their league play 3-2. Former Colonel right-hander Irvin Santana. The runner goes, and Kelly fouls one straight back. The hit and run was on for Beloit. The go-ahead run, Drew Thompson, who's 3 for 3 today, returns to first. Former Colonel right-hander Irvin Santana pitched 6 innings for his 7th win. And Dallas McPherson, former Colonel All-Star third baseman, went 2 for 3, including an inside-the-park home run for Dallas McPherson. 2 balls, 1 strike to the .272 hitting Paul Kelly. He slaps the next pitch foul straight back. AAA Salt Lake stomped Las Vegas 9-1 last night. Former Colonel All-Star and Midwest League batting champ Howie Kendrick was 2 for 3. And former Colonel Nick Gourneau belted his 12th home run of the year. Former Colonel right-hander Stephen Shell hurled 5 innings of 2-hit ball in the 9-1 Salt Lake win. Runner goes. Paul Kelly fouls another one straight back. Arkansas, AA Arkansas, was rained out in the Texas League. Rancho Cucamonga lost to High Desert 9-4. Patrick Riley belted his 5th home run. Remember how big a part of the offense he was before he was promoted here as a colonel. Patrick Riley hit his 5th home run. A high drive way back in right center. Way back over the head of Anderson Rosario. Or did he catch it? Nobody knows. And Larry Infantes throws to second. Out at second base. Out at second base on a single into deep right center by Paul Kelly. Drew Thompson is out 9-4-6. Drew Thompson didn't know whether Anderson Rosario caught it. It got over his head, and Anderson somehow then corralled it on one hop, threw into Larry Infante. Infante then relayed to the shortstop, Stacia. Heinle tagged out Drew Thompson trying to get back to second. And what a big, big out for the Kernels and Tommy Mendoza here in this inning. 1-on-1 out for Eric Liss. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill will be along in just a little bit to help us with the Springhouse Trivia question, as well as all the scores and interleague play on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. In fact, after my little brother Logan and his friend Ben finish their refreshments, I think they're going to watch the rest of the game with their parents down below. Eric Liss is 1 for 2, and he waits. Marissa's waving. Logan, Marissa is waving. Come over here, Logan. There's Marissa. Logan's sister is waving up here. Did you see her, Logan? She's in the pink shirt and the hat. Logan, do you see Marissa? They're waving. Ben, could you point to them? Okay. Logan Clark is eating a hamburger, and I don't know if he sees his sister yet. Yes, he does. And she's laughing that Logan's holding a hamburger up. Oh, guys, you'll be rejoining your families in just a little bit so that Levita and I can get back into our normal routine and so that you can run the bases after the game. In fact, Levita, let's make it our goal probably after we retire the snappers here in the fifth. We better escort the boys down to their folks. They sure have been well behaved today. They've just been great. 3-0 now to Eric Liss. The Orem Owls rookie ball will start play. Here's a bouncer to first on a 3-0 pitch. Club by Trumbo. Out. Throw to second safe. Throw to second safe. Heinle Stacia thought the Kernels had Paul Kelly for a double play. Eric Liss was turned loose on a 3-0 pitch, and he grounded it sharply to Mark Trumbo. Trumbo stepped on first for the out of the batter Liss, and then Mark's throw to second was low in the dirt, dug out by Stacia. Heinle tagged Paul Kelly, but base umpire Clint Fagan said safe. And the runner is in scoring position with 2 out for Edward Ovale. Edward Ovale, a right-handed batter. Swings at a changeup and misses. Flint Whipke lost the handle but recovers. We're tied 2-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. In the top of the 6th inning, you'll have a chance to earn a prize, or a reward rather, a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. Breaking pitch, hammered to third. Good play by Dallas Morris, and he tags out Paul Kelly. A hard-hit smash to Dallas Morris, who held his ground and then smartly tagged Paul Kelly going from second to third. Edward Ovale hit a 2-hop smash to third to end the inning as Dallas Morris tagged out the runner, Kelly, going from second to third. 5 strong innings from 18-year-old Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza. He pitches around 2 singles in the 5th inning. No runs for Beloit, 2 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and the Snappers leave 1 man on. They've left 6 aboard on this Sunday afternoon. We go to the home half of the 5th inning, and it's the Kernels and Snappers tied 2-2. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Telephone company, our members and owners who make us a team. Service second command, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda.
Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Kiel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Kiel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Kiel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykiel.com. Randy Kiel Honda, where they treat you right.
We go to the bottom of the fifth inning, tied 2-2 on this sunny Father's Day afternoon. A bunt by Anderson Rosario. Barehanded at third by Paul Kelly. He makes a terrific play to throw out Anderson Rosario. What a play by All-Star Paul Kelly, who's playing third base today. He charged the bunt by Anderson Rosario, barehanded through to first to retire Anderson Rosario, the number 9 hitter. One away here in the bottom of the fifth inning in this 2-2 game. Top of the order, Brad Kuhn. Brad fakes a bunt, and Kyle Waldrop's fastball is in there for strike one. Brad bunted his way on to extend his hitting streak to 14 games, stole his league-high 24th base of the year in the third inning, then scored on an error by shortstop Drew Thompson. That tied the game at 1. Beloit scored one in the top of the fourth to take a short-lived 2-1 lead. Jordan Renz belted his team-high and league-high 14th home run, leading off the fourth to tie the game. Brad Kuhn slaps the 1-1 pitch to shortstop Drew Thompson, and Drew Thompson throws out Brad Kuhn for the second out here in the Kernel fifth inning. 2 away, and the batter Heinle Stacia, who's nothing for 2 today. Heinle hitting .267. His one home run of the year came here Friday night against Eddie Morlan. Heinle leads the team with 17 doubles. A changeup is a strike on the outside corner from Kyle Waldrop, the 6'4", 20-year-old Beloit right-hander. Line drive back to the mound. Caught by Kyle Waldrop to end the inning. Heinle Stacia hit a scalding bullet right back to the hill. Kyle Waldrop in a perfect follow-through position nabbed it, and the Kernels go quickly and in order in the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll wait for the return of Kernel broadcast assistant Levita Hill to bring you the Springhouse trivia question. We'll have it for you sometime here in the next inning, in the sixth inning, as we go to the sixth on Father's Day. It's the Kernels and Snappers tied at 2 apiece. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
We're going to the sixth inning. Tommy Mendoza's first pitch is a beautiful Uncle Charlie, taken for strike one by Eli Tintor. Top of the 6th inning. We've been out hit 8-4, but the game's tied 2-2. Eli Tintor is jammed, and he fouls one straight back on the ground. Strike 2 to Eli. The Kernels have Tim Madison warming up down the right field line. Tim Madison warming up for the Kernels. 0-2 to Eli Tintor. This may be Tommy Mendoza's final inning of work. Blistering fastball, outside corner, strike 3 called. Tommy Mendoza disposes of Eli Tintor on 3 pitches, and that is 6 strikeouts on this warm, humid, muggy Sunday afternoon for the Colonel 18-year-old right-hander, Tommy Mendoza. Ball 1 misses outside to Caleb Moore, a fastball. It looks like this might be Tommy's last inning of work, and boy, has he pitched another very, very solid ball game. Ball 2 is outside. 1 out, nobody on here in the 6th inning. We're tied at 2, and a late swing and a miss by the right-handed hitting catcher Caleb Moore. Caleb with a .286 average, 2 homers, 22 runs driven in. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, strike 2. Beloit has hit 31 home runs this season. That's 8th in the 14-team Midwest League. The Kernels with their 42nd home run of the season, the 14th of the year by Jordan Renz. That tied the game in the 4th inning. Stroking the 2-2 pitch foul high off to the right is Caleb Moore. Caleb is from East Tennessee State University. Signed by Minnesota as a non-drafted free agent last year. Hit .309 in 36 games in the Appalachian League. He lines one down the right field line for extra bases. Anderson Rosario will cut it off in front of the warning track in the corner. Throw into second, not in time, and a 1-out double by Caleb Moore. Caleb Moore doubles down the right field line, his 10th double of the year. And the Snappers have the go-ahead run at second with 1 out. And their number 8 hitter at the plate, Dwayne White. Dwayne tripled over the head of Anderson Rosario and scored in the top of the 4th inning to give Beloit a 2-1 lead. Renz's home run leading off the lower half of the 4th tied the game at 2. A changeup is taken low, ball 1 by Dwayne White. White is a left-handed batter. Pop foul. That one will be beyond the reach of the hustling Colonel catcher Flint Whipke. And it's 8 rows up to the left of home plate into the red premier seats. An opportunity for you in the next few minutes to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House. Our Spring House trivia question will come your way in just a few moments as soon as Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill comes back. White tops the next pitch foul off to the left, and Tommy Mendoza's ahead of Dwayne White. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brad Kuhn is swung way around in the left center for the Beloit left-handed hitter who stands straight away. .213 hitter, Dwayne White. Time is called now by Flint Whipke, the catcher. Flint trots out to the mound to have a conference with Tommy Mendoza. Remember, you can be in the movie, The Final Season. Doug Nelson, the Colonel's COO, announced this morning that if you're here at 8 o'clock Friday morning or 8 o'clock Saturday morning, you will be used as an extra in the cast of the movie. You'll be used as crowd footage in the movie The Last Final Season. Ooh, a changeup just dipped low. The Colonels wanted that call, didn't get it from plate umpire Isaiah Boykins. We're back in action in the second half, Thursday night from Fort Wayne. Breaking pitch, chopped to first, backhanded by Trumbo. Mark waves off Tommy Mendoza, makes the put out himself. Dwayne White chops out on one hop to Mark Trumbo. Mark had to backhand that ball right off the dirt of the infield. We'll greet you at 5:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on Thursday night from Fort Wayne. And let's double check and see what station that will be on. I know I have that here. Yes, it will be on 1450 KMRY on Thursday night. 5:40 South Slope Communications Triple Play Show time. 6 o'clock first pitch. A change-up in the dirt, ball one to Toby Gardenhire. Now the number 9 hitter looks at a pitch inside, ball 2. Go ahead run at third, 2 away, top of the 6th inning, 2-2 score. There's a fastball that looked good from here, but the plate umpire, Isaiah Boykin, said it was high. So Tommy Mendoza's fallen behind Toby Gardenhire, who's 0 for 2 today with an RBI ground out. 3-0 to the 200 hitter. Gardenhire looks at a strike called. Caleb Moore at third with 2 out. Toby Gardenhire lifts it into right. That should end the inning. Anderson Rosario calls and puts it away. And what a great 6 innings for 18-year-old Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza. Tommy pitches around a 1-out double and keeps the Colonels even with the Snappers here in the 6th inning. No runs for Beloit. 1 hit, their 9th of the day. There were no Colonel errors. The Snappers leave 1 and have stranded 7. Colonel broadcast assistant Levita Hill is back, and she and I will combine to bring you the Springhouse trivia question when the Colonels bat in the home half of the 6th inning. As we head there, the score is tied with Beloit, 2 apiece, and you're tuned to Colonel Baseball here on the Colonel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
Dallas Morris will bat first for the Colonels here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the sun shining brightly and a light breeze blowing out over the 403 mark in right center. That's where the silver flagpole is, and it indicates with the flag blowing out that the wind is blowing in that direction towards right center. Kyle Waldrop misses with the curveball low and in, ball 1. Waldrop has pitched 79 in the 3rd innings. Before this, his 14th start of the year, has given up 79 hits in 79 in the 3rd, struck out 48, walked only 12. A breaking pitch is in for a strike to Dallas Morris. Morris, Trumbo, and Renz here in the Colonel 6th inning in a 2-2 game. And ball 2 is upstairs to Dallas. Tim Madison is stopped throwing in the Colonel bullpen. He's ready to go in the 7th inning if needed. Dallas Morris belts one into left center, and on the run, Terrence Patterson makes the play. Dallas Morris hit that ball off his trademark, and it didn't carry as far as it looked like it might. Terrence Patterson glided over to his left and made the play. 1 gone here in the Colonel's 6th inning. And before we give you the Springhouse trivia question, Luvita, a new offering that Lester Schmitz is very excited about at the Springhouse. Not only can you order off the menu, but there's another new couple of exciting choices.
That's right, John. You can get the lunch or dinner buffet. That lunch buffet is $5.95, and these buffets are Monday through Friday only. Remember that. The lunch buffet is $5.95, and the dinner buffet is $6.95, and that dinner buffet is after 4:30.
And that's at the Springhouse. Mark Trumbo on a 1-0 pitch. Hits one high onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion for strike one. If you've been one of our previous 34 Springhouse Trivia question winners this season, congratulations. Please play along wherever you're tuned in this afternoon, but don't call in. Swing and a miss by Mark Trumbo on a breaking pitch, strike two. We'll give you the question and the number to call after this next pitch to the Colonel cleanup batter, right-handed hitting Mark Trumbo. He's 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and that strikeout for Kyle Waldrop is his first of the afternoon. Waldrop is now retired, 6 straight Kernels. Luvita, I thought it would be a fun question involving a father topic since this is Father's Day.
Good idea there, John. This is the Springhouse trivia question. Name the current major leaguer who is playing for his father.
Pretty simple, straightforward question. Swing and a miss by Jordan Renz. Luvita will repeat it, and then give the phone number for you to call to take your crack at that $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse.
Name the current major leaguer who is playing for his father. The number to call, 896-7589, 896-7589.
The phone's ringing immediately. A changeup in the dirt, swung on and missed by Jordan, who's 2 for 2. 0-2 to Jordan Renz. Kyle Waldrop into his windup, a full windup it is, and he wastes a fastball high and outside. Kernels 2, Snappers 2, bottom of the 6th inning. Breaking pitch, and Renz fights it off and rolls it foul past Colonel manager Bobby Magallanes, who's coaching at third base. Beloit's pitching staff has an ERA of 1.55 against us in 7 games this year. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Kyle Waldrop retires the Kernels in order and strikes out 2 in doing so. The Colonels gone 1-2-3-0 across in the home half of the 6th inning. As we go to the 7th inning, it's the Colonels 2 and the Snappers 2. Luvita Hill will have the answer to our Springhouse trivia question along with the winner. No, we do not have a winner yet, so Luvita, go ahead and have at it again.
Name the current major leaguer who is playing for his father. The number to call, 896-7589, 896-7589.
Luvita, do you remember what the incorrect guess was?
Actually, I do not remember what that incorrect guess was.
Okay, more calls are flooding in. Tim Madison will take over on the hill as we go to the top of the 7th. Kernels and Snappers tied at 2. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen, bringing in Tim Madison. This call to the Colonel bullpen sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Tim Madison takes over for Tommy Mendoza. Tommy was rock solid here today. Went 6 innings, 102 pitches, allowed 2 runs on 9 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. And Tim Madison's first pitch, a check swing and a roller foul towards the Colonel first base dugout, strike 1. Top of the order for Beloit here in the top of the 7th inning. Patterson singled and scored in the first inning. He's 1 for 3, and he bounces one to deep short. Stacia has a tough play and can't make it. His throw is good, but not in time. Terrence Patterson ekes out an infield single. He bounced it to the left of Dallas Morris, and that was all she wrote, as Heinle Stacia backhanded it at short and threw late in the dirt, and an infield single for Terrence Patterson. Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question on this Father's Day. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill will repeat the question, give the answer, and congratulate our winner of a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse.
The question was, name the current major leaguer who is playing for his father. The answer was Moises Alou, and he played for the San Francisco Giants.
Yes, and he's playing for his father, Felipe Alou.
That's right, and congratulations to Dan Dzorek from Iowa City, Iowa.
Whoa, that's your neck of the woods, Levita. How does Dan spell that last name?
Capital D-Z-O-R-A-K.
Are we coming in loud and clear in Iowa City?
Yes, we are.
Thank
yes,
you.
We are.
Dan Dzorek. Boy, that's wonderful to hear from a caller in Iowa City. Drew Thompson waits in a pitch-out, ball 1. Drew's 3 for 3. Tim Madison has surrendered a leadoff infield single here in the top of the 7th in a 2-all game. Tim Madison was sensational his last time out a week ago today on that cold, dreary Sunday afternoon 15-inning loss to Fort Wayne. Madison pitched 4 innings, gave up no runs on 4 hits, struck out 4, walked none. Tim Madison on in relief of Tommy Mendoza. Again, the final line on the 18-year-old Colonel right-hander. 6 innings pitched. He allowed 2 runs on 9 hits, struck out 6. Tommy only walked 1. Well, congratulations to Dave Dzorek.
That's Dan Dzorek.
Dan Dzorek. Sorry about that, Levita. Dan Dzorek. I think I've got a little slight case of heat exhaustion here today. The runner going. A pitch outside. Throw to second. Bingo! Out at second. Flint Whipke guns out Terrence Patterson. And it went 2-6. Heinle Stacia took the throw. Ball 2 to Drew Thompson. A big caught stealing. Terrence Patterson, 4th in the league with 18 steals, is thrown out for the 12th time. 1 away here in the Beloit 7th. We'll have our first look in just moments at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Or let's say, I guess first, Levita, we haven't told our audience about Tim Madison. Here's a high fly ball into center, and Brad Kuhn with his glasses down trots in to put it away. 2 gone here in the 7th inning in a 2-2 game.
Tim Madison is making his 21st appearance with his 2-3 record. He has an ERA of 4.78. He's pitched 32 innings. He saved 2 games. Madison has had 41 players hit against him. He's walked 5, struck out 23, and the league is batting .320 against him.
Phenomenal line for Tim Madison. Again, Levita, I think the most amazing thing, I want you to repeat how many innings he's pitched and how few batters he's walked.
Madison has pitched 32 innings, and he's only walked 5 players.
That's amazing. It's 1-1 to Paul Kelly. Kelly's 1 for 2 today with a walk. He slices it foul off to the right. And it's now a 1-2 count to Paul Kelly. We'll have our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard when the Kernels bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll give Levita plenty of time to make sure everything is up to speed. Ball too low, a changeup from Tim Madison. We're tied at 2 here in the top of the 7th inning on Father's Day. brilliant sunshine splashing the field. A deep drive to left, going back, Madison Edwards. He's there and has it. Paul Kelly lines out to left to end the Beloit 7th inning. Beloit got a leadoff single from their leadoff batter, Terrence Patterson, but Flint Whipke threw him out trying to steal second. No runs for the Snappers in the 7th. One hit, an infield single. There were no Kernel errors. Beloit leaves the bases empty. They've stranded 7. Lindale Dental Center is bringing us the traditional 7th inning stretch as the fans sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Let's listen in for a moment. Father's Day fun at the ballpark. The Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the 7th, tied with Beloit 2-2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team, Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Flint Whipke leads off in the Kernel 7th in a 2-2 game, and it's 1-1 to Flint. Kyle Waldrop, making his 14th start of the year with a 3.29 ERA, has limited the Kernels to 2 runs on 4 hits. Ball 2 outside to Flint. Flint threw out Terrence Patterson trying to swipe second after Terrence led off the top of this 7th inning with an infield single. Now the 2-1 from the tall right-hander, outside, ball 3. Kyle Waldrop has hit a batter but hasn't walked a man yet today, and he's retired 7 straight Kernels. Flint on a 3-1 pitch, squibs it foul behind home plate. Lots of interleague action, and it will start our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard after this payoff pitch to the Kernel number 5 hitter or number 6 hitter. It's high, ball 4. Flint Whipke draws a leadoff walk, the first issued by Kyle Waldrop today. Go ahead, run it first, nobody out. Let's see if Larry Infante is bunting. He's reached twice today. Reached on an error in the 2nd. Singled in the 4th. Well, Levita Hill, what do we have going on that State Farm Major League scoreboard?
We'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Lots of interleague play today, only one non-interleague play game.
And Levita will read those scores in and out. What are some finals so far, Levita?
Completed thus far at RFK Stadium, the Nationals crept past the Yankees 3-2. At Dolphin Stadium, the Marlins knocked off the Blue Jays 4-1. At Shea Stadium, the Mets derailed the Orioles 9-4.
Here's a bunt by Larry Infante. Waldrop fields and tosses out Larry Infante. A successful sacrifice going Kyle Waldrop to the second baseman, Toby Gardenhire. No, I think it was the first base. Well, I'll call it 1-3. I'm not sure who was at the receiving end of that sacrifice bunt to the right of home plate by Larry Infante, but we'll call it 1-3. Madison Edwards, a 138 hitter with no homers and 2 RBIs, could put the Kernels ahead here in the bottom of the 7th inning with Whipke at second. Madison bunts, and the play will be to first, the throw in time, and Clint Whipke failed to go to third base. Clint Whipke either missed a sign or Madison Edwards was bunting for a base hit, but that was a strange play. With the tying run at second and a left-handed batter at the plate, why would Madison Edwards be bunting? Did Madison Edwards miss a sign? Did Clint Whipke miss a sign? Was Madison Edwards trying to bunt for a base hit? A very, very inexplicable bunt. And it went 1-3, Madison Edwards out, and Clint Whipke is still at second base with 2 out. You talk about giving up an at-bat or giving away an out. That was just inexplicably strange. Anderson Rosario swings hard and misses, strike 1.
Other completed games so far at Great American Ballpark, the White Sox dismantled the Reds 8-1, and at PNC Park, the Pirates bow to the Twins 8-2. Still taking place at Miller Park, Indians and Brewers, top of the 7th, game is tied 3-3.
Ball 1 low and into Rosario. And go ahead, Luvita.
I'm sorry about that.
No.
And at Minute Maid Park, the game is tied Royals-Astros 4-4 in the bottom of the 8th. At Wrigley Field, the Tigers are ahead of the Cubs 12-2 in the top of the 8th.
The 1-1 to Rosario is popped foul over the first base Colonel dugout. It's 1-2 to the Colonel number 9 hitter.
At America's Field, the Rangers lead the Diamondbacks 7-6 in the bottom of the 7th. At Angel Stadium, the Padres are ahead of our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 3-2 in the top of the 4th. At the Coliseum, no scores available yet. Dodgers and A's, that's in the bottom of the 2nd. And at Safeco Field, the Giants lead the Mariners 1-0 on the top of the 2nd.
Anderson Rosario wraps the 1-2 pitch to shortstop Drew Thompson, who throws low but out to end the Colonel's 7th inning. Colonels had a runner at second following a leadoff walk by Whipke. He was sacrificed by Infante to second, but he wilted there as Madison Edwards and Anderson Rosario were retired by Kyle Waldrop.
For our game in the National League, this is the only non-interleague game. National League at Busch Stadium, in the bottom of the 5th, the Cardinals hold a 4-1 advantage over the Rockies. And that concludes the look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Once again, we'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn.
Fantastic job, Levita. She'll keep us up to date as we head into the latter part of this game and the Colonel Curtain call. No runs for the Colonels following a leadoff walk in the 7th. No hits. There were no Beloit errors. The Colonels leave 1 and have stranded 4. After 7, it's still the Colonels 2 and the Snappers 2, and this is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
Top of the 8th inning, a 2-all game here on Father's Day. Eric Liss, 1 for 3 with an RBI single back in the first inning, leading off against Tim Madison. Swing and a miss, now a pitch low and away for a ball. The Snappers have a pair of hurlers warming up down the left field line, a righty and a lefty. And the Colonels have Robert Romero warming up in the right field bullpen. A change-up, a dandy, a swing and a miss by Eric Liss. Strike 2. This is the final game of the season's first half. The Kernels with a win could make it a 5-3 homestand, and even their season series record with Beloit at 4 games apiece. Eric List pounds the 1-2 pitch foul into the Colonel right field bullpen. Tim Madison with his 1-2 delivery, and it's fouled straight back by Eric Liss. Remember, we'll be back in action here at the ballpark on Thursday, June 29th. And that'll be the beginning of a series with the Dayton Dragons. Then we'll welcome in Burlington. Ball 2 is high and away to the left-handed batter. Cleanup batter Eric Liss from the University of Evansville. Tim's 2-2. Popped foul down the left side. I'm going to call Levita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, back into the action here to share an announcement that Doug Nelson, our COO, made to Levita and I this morning regarding the movie The Final Season. It will be filmed here during the All-Star break. And Levita, have you ever dreamed of being in a movie?
Actually, I have, John.
Well, here's your chance, and everybody else in eastern Iowa. Eric Liss lines the 2-2 pitch from Tim Madison foul and onto the Randy Keough Confidence Picnic Pavilion. What do folks need to do? It's pretty simple.
If you want to be in this movie, casting call is, they have 2 of them actually, Friday and Saturday, 8 o'clock. That's what time the casting call is. Come to the stadium, help fill the seats. They can get a crowd shot, and you can be in it.
Wow, wouldn't that be something? Eric Liss tomahawks the next pitch foul into the Colonel right field bullpen. Quite a tussle between Tim Madison, the Colonel right-handed relief pitcher, who surrendered a leadoff infield single to Terrence Patterson in his first inning of work, the 7th, but Patterson was thrown out trying to steal second. Tim Madison went on to get the next 2 Beloit hitters. He's facing a tough one here, 3-17 hitting Eric Liss, change up in the dirt, ball 3. It was 1-2, now it's 3-2. Those times again, Luvita, for the casting call for the movie The Final Season.
Casting call for the movie The Final Season, Friday and Saturday, 8 o'clock a.m.
All right. Well, wouldn't it be something to see yourself in the movies?
That would be awesome.
Broken back ground ball foul into the Colonel right field bullpen. Eric Liss has to march back towards the Beloit dugout to get a new bat. And I wonder how many people, let's say that if you were in a movie and it was on television or at the movie theater, I wonder how many people you would call to let people know. I would probably call, I admit it, I have an ego like anybody else. I'd probably call 30 to 40 family and friends to let them know.
I would start at the top of the phone tree and give everyone a designated person to call after that.
The old chain reaction.
There you go.
Phone tree, that's smarter, Luvita. You could be in the movie The Final Season by answering the casting call, regardless of weather, Friday morning at 8, Saturday morning at 8. Eric Liss drives one in the air to deep left. Madison Edwards in front of the track. Now comes together with Brad Kuhn. Madison Edwards makes the one-handed catch. One away here in the Beloit 8th inning, and what a fabulous pitching sequence by Tim Madison. Boy, Luvita told you just moments ago that Madison has only walked 5 batters in 32 innings. Tim Madison, M-A-T-T-I-S-O-N, a 6'1", 225-pound right-hander who will turn 24 years old on June 22nd. Swing and a foul back by Edward O'Valley. Tommy Mendoza will not win his 5th game of the year. He will not lose his 6th game of the season. Tommy spun 6 innings, starting his 15th game of the season for the Kernels. Limited Beloit to 2 runs on 9 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. 2-2 our score here in the 8th inning. Changeup misses outside for ball 1 to Edward O'Valley. Top of the hour, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. Fastball, and Edward O'Volley fouls that one over the Kernel first base dugout. Big crowd on end here for Father's Day. You heard Gary Keppel, the president of the Marion Chamber of Commerce, talk about here's a high fly ball belted into deep center. Brad Kuhn, 385 feet away, retreats and has it right in front of the warning track. Edward O'Volley gave that pitch from Tim Madison a long ride to straightaway center. 2 gone here in the Beloit 8th inning. Before the game, the Kernels and Children's Hospital of Iowa at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics shared a very remarkable story of courage and triumph. The Rossels, Rossell, came here from Knoxville, Illinois to share their story. Evan Rossell, 3 years old, his older sister Danielle, and Greg and Dory Rossell, swing and a miss, strike 2 on the batter, Eli Tintor. 15 months ago, the Rossells were stunned when their son Evan was diagnosed with a very rare and serious condition in the left jaw known as aggressive fibromatosis desmoid tumor. That's when Dr. Richard Smith of Children's Hospital of Iowa explained to the Rossells that Evan would have to undergo surgery to remove that tumor and that an extensive reconstructive surgery would follow. The 1-2 pitch to Tintor is bounced foul outside first. A part of Evan's lower jaw was removed, and there was the chance of the tumor coming back, again, a high chance. And the Rossells brought Evan to Iowa City to be cared for by the very best doctors possible. Tintor went around on a pitch low and away, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tim Madison. Tim Madison sparkling out of the Kernel bullpen in relief of starter Tommy Mendoza retires Beloit in order in the top of the 8th inning. We're going to keep it right here and finish our story about 3-year-old Evan Rossell. The Rossells told us before the game on the field that the caring and compassionate team of doctors, nurses, housekeepers, and all the staff at Children's Hospital of Iowa exceeded their expectations in terms of the care that Evan received. Evan's surgery took 6 hours. The entire tumor was removed, a titanium plate was inserted into his jaw, and a small piece of his lower left mandible was spared so that Evan could keep his baby teeth. Greg and Dory Rossell, Evan's parents, say that the care that Evan received was phenomenal. In fact, it's difficult to tell what Evan has been through when you look at the cute 3-year-old. And during Evan's most recent visit to Children's Hospital of Iowa, his team of doctors, Dr. Smith, Dr. Ray Tanis, Dr. Jerry Funk, and Dr. Richard Burton, actually thanked Greg and Dory Rossell for letting them take care of Evan. Greg and Dory responded by saying they were overwhelmed, and their thanks go to the healthcare team who saved Evan. Evan is scheduled for bone graft surgery and removal of the titanium plate in his jaw this Wednesday. And in recognition of his amazing courage and inspiring fortitude, the Kernels and the Children's Hospital of Iowa invited Evan to experience his own home run for life, and that's what he did before the game this afternoon. He trotted around the diamond, and to the roar and standing ovation of the crowd here, we wanted to share that story with you that unfolded on the field earlier this afternoon on Father's Day. The home run for life experienced by 3-year-old Evan Rossell, Rossell, from Knoxville, Illinois. He's been treated for a very rare and serious condition known as aggressive fibromatosis desmoid tumor. Here's a bunt foul by Brad Kuhn, leading off the Kernel 8th inning against tall right-hander Kyle Waldrop. Well, Luvita Hill, I know we were very busy getting the broadcast on the air here before the game. Thank you so much for filling in for me to ensure that I was able to be down on the field with the Rossells.
You are so very welcome, John.
It was great to be a part of it. Kuhn slaps a pitch fair past third into left field corner. Brad's digging for second. The throw by Patterson, not in time. Brad Kuhn starts the Kernel 8th inning with a bang as he laces a double just past third. It hit the chalk line, went down against the Union tarp cover, and Brad Kuhn is 2 for 4 today. That's his 8th double of the year, his 2nd double in as many games. Brad Kuhn is at second with a leadoff double here in the top of the 8th inning in a 2-2 game. And no sight by the snappers of their skipper, Jeff Smith, or their pitching coach, Steve Mintz. A bunt by Stacia, and it's a beautiful bunt. The catcher throws out Heinley. The sacrifice bunt by Heinley Stacia brings this crowd alive. And the sacrifice went 2-3. Catcher Caleb Moore to first baseman Eric Liss. I'll tell you what, the Kernels have been very, very proficient in their sacrifice bunting the last couple of weeks. I can't think of a time when we failed to get a sacrifice bunt down. Now the go-ahead run at third with one out here in the bottom of the eighth in a 2-2 game. Infield in for the play at the plate. Morris swings at a changeup and misses, strike one. Dallas had 3 hits last night. He's nothing for 3 so far today. Has grounded to short, reached on an error by the shortstop, and flown out to left field. Can Dallas Morris come through and give the Kernels the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning? Ooh, a changeup in the dirt. Brad Kuhn breaks down the line at third, but it was blocked by Caleb Moore. Rolled to Caleb's right. And it's 1-1 to Dallas Morris. Kuhn doubled past third to start this 8th inning. Caleb Moore now needs to be tended to by the Beloit trainer, Riley Peterson. Apparently Caleb got a speck of dust in his left eye. And Lubita, it looks like the Beloit trainer is putting some eye drops in Caleb's left eye.
That's what it seems like. He might have gotten something in there.
And he may wear contact lenses.
Says, oh, those are the worst. I wear contacts, and when you get things in your eyes, I can't even explain.
It's like sandpaper rubbing.
It is.
Brad Kuhn at third, being counseled by Colonel Manager Bobby Magianis. 2-2 score. Bottom of the 8th inning. Kyle Waldrop working from the stretch. The snapper infield is in for the play at the plate. The 1-1 to Dallas Morris. Inside and low, ball 2, a fastball. No attendance has been announced here yet this afternoon on this wonderful Father's Day. Kernels have been out hit 10-5, but are on the threshold of trying to take the lead in this game. Ball 3, a changeup in the dirt, again smothered by Caleb Moore to save a run. Moore is wearing dark blue shin guards and a blue chest protector to go along with his Beloit snapper dark blue helmet. The Snappers have a pair of hurlers in their bullpen. Dallas Morris, with the go-ahead run, Kuhn at third, waits for the 3-1 from Waldrop. And he fouls it over the backstop, strike 2. Kernels trying to take the lead for the first time in this game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dallas Morris is ready, so is the tall right-hander. Here's the game's biggest pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, Kyle Waldrop records just his 3rd strikeout of the day. He gets Dallas Morris on a low changeup, and now it'll take a 2-out base hit from Mark Trumbo. Ooh, that hurt. How in the world did Kyle Waldrop strike out Mark Trumbo? He did it, Dallas Morris, he did it with a changeup. Here comes Jeff Smith, the manager of, this is Steve Mintz, the pitching coach. Steve Mintz, the pitching coach of the Snappers, marches to the hill to have a word. With Kyle Waldrop. Bright sunshine. Beautiful blue sky. 2-2 our score here in the home half of the 8th inning. Steve Mintz is wearing a short-sleeve pullover nylon windbreaker, a Minnesota Twin windbreaker. Can Mark Trumbo pick up Dallas Morris, who was ahead in the count 3-1, but wound up striking out? Kuhn at third, with 2 out in this 2-2 game, bottom of the 8th inning. A high fly ball that comes one out too late. It'll be caught in center to end the inning by Edward O'Valley, who has it. The fly ball came one out too late. Doggone it. We had a runner at third with one out. Our numbers 3 and 4 hitters up, and Kyle Waldrop prevents the Kernels from taking the lead. No runs in the 8th inning for the Kernels. A leadoff double by Kuhn, one hit. There were no snapper errors, and the Kernels leave one man aboard and have stranded 5. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and it's still the Kernels 2, Beloit 2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Did you know that June is Perennial Gardening Month? Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant expert with the best selection in town. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. From our selection of quality perennials, Peck's will help you select the right perennials for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you scroll through our many acres of plants and flowers. Stop by to visit the plant people at Peck's as you start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck's, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, nursery and landscaping, at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
That was Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill with that Perennial Gardening Month announcement from Peck's. And Levita, I apologize for my thoughts were on the new relief pitcher, Robert Romero, and I'm going to have to send you over. The attendance was 3,000 something, and I missed it, Levita. So if you could help out by checking in with Andy or somebody over there, we'll get the attendance. Robert Romero takes over on the hill. He's answering a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Top of the 9th inning, 2-2 game. Caleb Moore will lead off against Robert Romero. Colonels have been out hit 10-6, or check that, 10-5. A leadoff double by Brad Kuhn in the bottom of the 8th. We bunted him to third, and he was stranded there with a chance for the Colonels to take the lead. Robert Romero's first pitch is popped up to second. Robert Romero gets Caleb Moore first pitch swinging to start the 9th inning. Dwayne White at the plate in this 2-2 game. The final game of the season's first half. Tim Madison was magnificent out of the Colonel bullpen. He went 2 innings, allowed no runs on 1 hit, struck out 1, walked none. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Dwayne White. And Levita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, will share the good news in a moment on the attendance front. Dwayne White laces a base hit into left center. And getting it back in is Brad Kuhn. Dwayne White is 2 for 4 today as he served one into center for a 1-out single. Well, Levita, an impressive crowd here on Father's Day.
That's right. The attendance today, 3163.
3,163.
That's right. I wonder how many of them went to the brunch.
I'm hoping at least 300.
That sounds like an accurate number.
Boy, that brunch, Tom Kelly, a good friend of ours, came up before the game and said, John, I couldn't have gotten a better brunch at a 5-star restaurant. And he meant it.
That's right. That brunch was good. I had the breakfast part of it, and it was just delicious.
Oh, it was from 10 until 1 o'clock. You're right about that. Cam, our head chef, assisted by Jerry Burkowski, did a great job. Cam, I hope you're listening down in the commissary along with Dave Soper. Dave is the best concession man in the business, the best food and beverage director I've ever known. Robert Romero is on the hill for the Kernels with 1 on and 1 out, and the count 0-1 to Toby Gardenhire, the son of twin manager Ron Gardenhire. Robert Romero last pitched Tuesday afternoon here at home against Fort Wayne. Pitched a scoreless inning. A tap to second could be a double play. Larry Infante gloves. Steps on second. Throws to first. Double play to end the ninth inning. Now that should give the Kernels a boost as we come to bat in the bottom of the ninth inning in this 2-2 game. Toby Gardenhire bounced it over the mound. It was gloved by Larry Infante. The second baseman stepped on second. Threw to first for the double play. No runs in the ninth for Beloit. One hit. No Colonel errors. The Snappers leave no one as Gardenhire hits into an inning-ending double play. Here we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. A new hurler on for the Snappers. We'll tell you about him when we return. After 8.5, the Kernels 2 and Beloit 2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with it?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
A new pitcher on for the Snappers to face the Kernels in the bottom of the ninth inning before a Father's Day crowd of 3,163. Kyle Waldrop is lifted after going 8 innings. Here's the final line on Beloit starter Kyle Waldrop. 8 innings pitched. He gave the Kernels 2 runs, only 1 earned on 5 hits. Waldrop struck out 3, walked 1. Yohan Pino will face Jordan Renz, Flint Whipke, and Larry Infante here in the bottom of the ninth inning in a 2-2 game. And Renz is 2 for 3 today. He belted a leadoff homer in the fourth, his team-high 14th of the year. Pino's big breaking pitch is a strike called. The season line, Luvita, on Yohan Pino.
With his 4-1 record, this is Yohan Pino's 24th appearance.
Swing and a miss by Jordan, strike 2.
This is his 24th appearance, and he has a 1.67 ERA. Pino has saved 2 games, and he's pitched 37 2/3 innings. He's had 26 players hit against him. He's walked 10. He saved he struck out 47 players. He struck out 47 players, and the league is batting 190 against him.
So he's tough. He's a 20-year-old Venezuelan. Yohan Pino to Jordan Renz. Strike 3 called on a 1-2 pitch. 1 away here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Yohan Pino pitched in Elizabethton last year. Started 12 games and had a 9-2 record. A 3.72 ERA. Neither starter will figure in the decision this afternoon. Yohan Pino pitches to Flint Whipke in a changeup and a swing and a miss, strike 1. Let's see, Pino is 22 years old. I said 20, he's 22. His breaking pitch is strike 2 to Flint Whipke. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth, 2-2 the score. The last run scored by the Kernels was Jordan Renz's leadoff homer in the fourth. Beloit hasn't scored since the top of the fourth inning. The 0-2 to Whipke is whistled foul straight back. Somebody has one of those old-fashioned air horns, or not air horns, but one of those long plastic horns.
That's what it sounds like.
I used to love bringing those to basketball and football games. The people around me didn't seem to like it as much. Swinging a foul straight back by Flint Whipke. 3,163 here on Father's Day. Flint hits one high to left. Coming on is Terrence Patterson. He's there in front of the track, and he has it. Flint just missed getting all of that one. Hit it just a tad off the end of the bat for the second out here in the ninth inning. Larry Infante has reached on an air, singled, and laid a sacrifice bunt down. Strike one from Pino. Well, something very interesting down the Colonel right field line as Larry Infante falls behind 0-2, fouling one past first. Andy Hill is warming up. Andy Hill, a Colonel starting pitcher, is warming up in the Colonel right field bullpen. So Andy Hill may pitch in this game. Strike three. We're going to the 10th inning. Larry Infante is caught looking, and the Colonels go in order at the hands of right-hander Yohan Pino. Well, last time he went to extra innings was last Sunday. We lost in 15 innings, and I was superstitious. I didn't mention our extra inning record. I'll go ahead and say it. We have really played poorly in extra innings this season. We're 2-9, so maybe today we'll start this, get some momentum going to the second half by finally winning a game in extra innings. The Colonels are 2-9 in extra innings this season. We go to the top of the 10th inning, and it's the Colonels and Snappers tied 2-2, and this is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Andy Hill, a Colonel starter, is greeted by the top of the Beloit order here in the top of the 10th inning, and Andy gets a strike into Terrence Patterson. Terrence now cues the 0-1 pitch foul past first in this 2-2 game. Andy Hill, a Colonel starter, last pitched Tuesday afternoon and allowed only 2 runs on 7 hits in 7 innings, struck out 4, walked 1, in a Colonel 2-1 loss to Fort Wayne. The right-hander, 6'4", 21 years old, from Olympia, Washington, misses low to Terrence Patterson here in the top of the 10th inning. Andy Hill getting his first relief appearance of the season here on the last day of the first half. A roller up the middle, gliding to his left. Hindley Stacia throws out the speedster Terrence Patterson. 1 gone here in the Beloit 10th inning. And a good start for Andy Hill. Luvita, Andy Hill has pitched as a starter 4 times for the Colonels.
That's right. He has a 1-3 record and a 2.77 ERA. He's pitched 26 innings, and he's had 23 hits against him. Hill has walked 3 players. He struck out 12, and the league is hitting .240 against him.
Andy's done a fine job as a starter. Here's a deep drive into right. It may leave the ballpark. It does. A home run for Drew Thompson. Drew Thompson is 4th hit of the day. Homers over the right field wall down the line. And, yes, we're in extra innings, and, yes, we trail. Once again, it's 3-2 Beloit here in the 10th inning. Drew Thompson with his 4th hit of the day. Belted one just over the 8-foot-high wall in right. Our record is 2-9 in extra innings, and unless we rally in the bottom of the 10th, it will be an unbelievably abysmal 2-10. But we're not there yet. We're only down by a run. We have the last at bat. And perhaps the Kernels can win this one in extra innings today. Ball one is high to Paul Kelly. It's hard enough to believe that this ball club has played 11 extra inning games and lost 9 of them. That's unfathomable. Even a baseball god can't explain that horrid play in extra innings. Paul Kelly takes a strike. Paul is 1 for 3 today. Right-handed hitter Andy Hill into his windup, and the pitch hits the hind side of Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly was hit by a curveball right in the rump, and he takes first base. 1 on, 1 out here in the 10th inning.
Number 32.
I wonder what we can do to change our fortune in extra innings. I just rack my brain thinking, how can we play better in extra innings? I know Bobby Magallanes and his coaching staff has gnawed over that topic over and over again. Andy Hill's pitch is grounded to the right side. Larry Infante has it, throws to second out. Station at first, safe. Out at first, double play to end the inning. Now the runner's called safe at second. The runner is safe at second as Heinley Stacia came off the bag too soon, apparently. So it's 2 out. Eric Liss is out. That play went 4-6-3. Eric Liss is out 4-6-3. Paul Kelly is safe at second. Boy, that was a very fine play by Larry Infante to his left to throw to Stacia. And Heinley came off the base prematurely, but got the batter, Eric Liss. Now a terrific Uncle Charlie in for a strike to Edward O'Valley. 3-2, we're in the 10th inning. Beloit got a home run from Drew Thompson, his 4th hit of the day. We've been out hit today 12-5, so it's really a wonder we were even tied in this game, 2-2, having been out hit 11-5 before this inning. The count goes to 0-2 as Edward O'Valley fouls one off to the right. But the Kernels still have the 10th inning. Maybe this will be the day that we get it done in extra innings. We're going to have to score at least a run to tie the game. O'Valley bats from a low crouch, grounds it to third. Dallas Morris looks it into the mitt, throws out the batter to end the 10th inning. Edward O'Valley rolls out to third, and that does it for Beloit. 1 run on the home run by Drew Thompson, his 4th hit of the day. A hit batter. There were no Colonel errors. Beloit leaves 1. They've stranded 8. We go to the bottom half of the 10th inning, and the Snappers are now leading this ball game 3-2. The Kernels will have the numbers 8, 9, and then the top of the order to face right-hander Yohan Pinto, who was very tough in the bottom of the 9th inning. Can the Kernels tie it or win it in the bottom of the 10th? Stay tuned to find out. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Here we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. 3-2 Beloit. A 1-out home run by Drew Thompson. Madison Edwards is first up, left-handed batter. Strike 1 called from Yohan Pino, P-I-N-O. He's trying to win this game. Madison, a left-handed hitter, is 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. A breaking pitch, a lollipop curve. Strike 2 to Madison Edwards. 3,163 here on Father's Day. Another well-pitched game by the Kernels, but no offense to support that pitching. Swing and a foul, straight back by Madison. Let's see if the Kernels can rally and make a winner out of Andy Hill. Yohan Pino's trying to up his record to 5-1 with this one-run lead. Ball one, high to Madison. Bottom of the 10th inning, 3-2 Beloit. The Snappers trying to even this series at 2 games apiece and finish above 500 in the first half. Madison Edwards loops it into shallow left. Terrence Patterson has it measured near the line and one away here in the Kernel 10th inning. Madison Edwards flies to left. Now Anderson Rosario at the plate. Well, perhaps George Spelius, the Midwest League president, he's located in Beloit. Maybe he can declare a moratorium on Kernel extra inning games. What do you think of that, Luvita?
I think that would be a good idea.
Pretty wise at this point. The good part is anytime you play 12 extra inning games, it means you have great pitching.
That's right.
Because you don't play as many extra inning games as we've played and not have a good pitching staff. But once we get into extra innings, it's a nightmare. Strike one to Anderson Rosario from Pino. Now a swing and a miss. Boy, Yohan Pino is a man among boys with his 4-1 record and his 1.76 ERA. He's retired 4 straight Kernels, and the 6', 170-pound Venezuelan is ahead of Rosario 0-2. And Anderson hangs in there and fouls off a changeup. What a wonderful scene it is here at the ballpark with so many families, kids, and dads. And Luvita, after the game, they'll be able to run the bases thanks to Velocity Sports Performance and play catch on the field. Swing and a miss by the batter, Rosario, 2 away here in the Kernel 10th inning. I know you'll be sharing all the finals with us on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, but it is such a gratifying scene after every Kernel Sunday game to see those kids run the bases and play catch.
That's right, it is. They look like they have so much fun and they just enjoy themselves. As a kid, who wouldn't want to be on a professional team or on a professional field?
Exactly. You dream about getting to do that. This crowd hasn't given up on the Kernels, neither have we, as Yohan Pino starts Brad Kunoff with a changeup for a strike. 3-2 Beloit. We're in the bottom of the 10th inning. Brad swings at a changeup in the dirt, misses, strike 2. If the Kernels fail to rally here in the 10th inning, our record in extra innings will be 2 wins and 10 losses. That's just utterly impossible to believe, isn't it? But usually the impossible is what makes it believable. Strike 3 called to Brad Kuhn, and that ends this Father's Day game. The game took 2 hours and a half, and Beloit gains a split in the series with the victory here this afternoon, 3-2. 3-2 Snappers. Yohan Pino retires all 6 Kernel batters he faces. He wins it. He's 5-1. The Kernel Tough Luck loser starter Andy Hill, 1-4. We'll be back in just a moment with the Kernel Curtain Call, including a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
A crowd of 3,163 had a wonderful time here at the ballpark this morning and this afternoon. It all got started at 10 o'clock with the Father's Day brunch. You heard Luvita Hill and I rave about it. We paid the $12 each, and it was the best $12 each we've ever spent for a 5-star class meal brunch at the ballpark. Then on the parking lot, the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest was fun for all. And it was capped off on this wonderful day with a Beloit 10-inning 3-2 win. The Kernels were out hit 12-5, got great pitching again, but that old bugaboo extra innings came up and haunted us once again. Our Colonel Curtain call takes us back to the first inning. Tommy Mendoza surrendered 4 hits to the Snappers, but struck out the side. An RBI single by Eric List plated Terrence Patterson, and Beloit led it 1-0. The Colonels, though, tied it in the third inning. Brad Kuhn extended his hitting streak to a phenomenal 14 games. He bunted his way on to start the third inning. Brad stole second and scored when Dallas Morris grounded one to the shortstop, Drew Thompson. Drew didn't get the tailgate down. It went between his legs, and Brad Kuhn scored to tie the game at 1-1. The Snappers took a 2-1 lead in the top of the fourth inning. Dwayne White tripled over the head of Anderson Rosario and then scored on a Toby Gardenhire ground out to short to give Beloit a 2-1 lead. The Colonels, Jordan Renz, all-star Jordan Renz, then led off the bottom of the fourth by socking his league-high 14th home run of the year onto 8th Avenue over the Randy Keough-Hoffman's picnic pavilion down the line and left. That tied the game 2-2. Little did we know that would be the last run the Colonels would score today. The Colonels had a great chance to take the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brad Kuhn, a leadoff double. Heinle Stacia sacrificed him to third. The Colonels had the go-ahead run at third with 1 out, but Kyle Waldrop struck out the Colonel number 3 hitter, and the fly ball from cleanup batter Mark Trumbo came 1 out too late. The Colonels failed to get Kuhn home from third with less than 2 out, and that cost us dearly because Yohan Pino came on and struck out 2 in the 9th inning. In the 10th inning, Colonel starter Andy Hill was summoned in from the Colonel bullpen, and after retiring Terrence Patterson on a ground ball to short, Drew Thompson belted his third home run of the year, his 4th hit of the day over the right field wall, catapulted the Beloit Snappers into a 3-2 lead. The Colonels went down in order in the bottom of the 10th inning. 2 more strikeouts for Yohan Pino, and Pino overmatched the Colonels in his 2 innings. No runs, no hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. 3-2 Beloit in 10 innings. Beloit leads the season series over the Colonels 5-3. The Colonel 8-game homestand record to end the first half, 4 wins, 4 losses. We'll be back in just a moment. Or wait a minute, here's the final line score. Beloit, 3 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. They left 8. The Colonels, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and we stranded 5. Winning pitcher Yohan Pino, he's a remarkable 5-1. Colonel Tough Luck loser starter Andy Hill, 1-4. The game only took 2 hours and 30 minutes before a crowd of 3,163. We'll be back in a moment with our PRC play of the game. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for Il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
Quite a scene unfolding down below as the folks play catch on Father's Day, run the bases. It's sponsored by Velocity Sports Performance. PRC sponsors our Colonel Play of the Game. With Beloit leading 2-1, Colonel All-Star Jordan Renz led off the 4th inning. Here's our PRC Play of the Game. Ball one outside to Jordan Renz. High drive! Gary, you describe where it lands.
It's over on 8th Avenue on somebody's car, probably.
Listen to the crowd, Gary.
He just said we wanted to take one swing and tie it up, and he did.
Gary Keppel, between innings, said, John, maybe Jordan can step into the first or second pitch and tie it up, and that's what Jordan Renz has done. A Colonel said, it's in somebody's lawn across 8th Avenue. Wow, did Jordan Renz ever belt that one a long, long way out of here. Now here's... And that home run was Jordan's 14th of the year to lead the Midwest League. It's our PRC play of the game. And it was another home run, another $25 rather, donated by PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir. PRC's Community Care Home Runs for the Hungry campaign will help reduce hunger in our community through their $25 donation for every Colonel home run this season to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Jordan's 14th of the year, leading off the fourth, tied the game at 2, and PRC has now donated $1,050 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. Home run number 42 for the Kernels, team high and league high 14th for Renz, our PRC play of the game. If you're looking for a job where you'll be a part of an amazing team that cares for your needs and gives you the ability to grow, visit PRC at prc.net. That's www.prcnet.com. That's our PRC play of the game. The Kernels slipped to 2-10 in extra innings by losing the final game of the first half in 10 innings to Beloit, 3-2. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill is standing by. She'll have all of the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard interleague play next here on the Colonel Curtain Call on the Colonel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
You may have heard me chuckling during that Randy Keel Confidence commercial. It's because I accidentally left my microphone pot up, but it was because Josh Boots, the leader of the Colonel Pep Squad, was racing a couple of kids down the third baseline towards home plate during this Velocity Sports Performance Run the Bases promotion. 3,163 were here on this beautiful Father's Day Sunday afternoon, and they saw the Colonels bow in extra innings in 10 innings to Beloit. 3-2, the Colonel homestand record to end the season, 4 wins, 4 losses. The Colonel record in the first half, a final record of 31 wins, 39 losses. Beloit ends up 35 wins, 33 losses. They played 68 games. We played the full complement of 70. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill is ready to go with all the finals and scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
We'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Lots of interleague play today, only one game in the National League. Finals in the interleague play. At Great American Ballpark, the White Sox dismantled the Reds 8-1. At PNC Park, the Pirates bow to the Twins 8-2. At Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies topped the Devil Rays 8-5. The Royals down the Astros at Minute Maid Park 7-4. The Tigers mauled the Cubs at Wrigley Field 12-3. At AmeriQuest Field, the Rangers beat the Diamondbacks 10-7. At RFK Stadium, the Nationals crept past the Yankees 3-2. At Dolphin Stadium, the Marlins knocked off the Blue Jays 4-1. And the Mets derailed the Orioles at Shea Stadium 9-4. Game still taking place, interleague play at Miller Park. Indians Brewers 3-all in the bottom of the ninth. At Angel Stadium, Padres and our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 4-3 Padres in the bottom of the seventh. At the Coliseum, the A's are ahead of the Dodgers, 5-2 in the top of the sixth. At Safeco Field, the Mariners lead the Giants, 4-1 in the top of the sixth. And that game that was in the National League today at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals beat the Rockies 4-1. That's a look at our State Farm Major League scoreboard, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn.
Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill, thanks to you. The scene continues to be uplifting as the fans now have stopped running the bases, sponsored by Velocity Sports Performance. Josh Boots hasn't had enough yet. He's racing another youngster. And a big group of people, I'd say several hundred, playing catch on the outfield. Mr. Shucks is out there tossing the ball around. A wonderful scene here to end the season's first half. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill, you have been a shot of enthusiasm, energy, positive, upbeat attitude. I've really enjoyed the last 2.5, 3 months, and I can't wait to get things started in the second half. Hopefully the Colonels can have a bit more success in the one-loss record, but that's irrelevant to our mission here, which is to provide affordable, wholesome family entertainment and to bring the games home as an upbeat and an entertaining way as possible. Sure, we hope the Colonels can improve upon their record in the second half. I think they will, but time will tell. The main thing is you have done a great job being a part of this team.
Thank you, John. I can't imagine any other place a college kid like me would want to be during the summer. I get to do radio broadcasts, watch baseball games, participate in or help out with on-field promotions, and volunteer with other things the Colonels do.
Well,
it doesn't get any better than this.
We appreciate knowing that, Levita, and believe me, it comes through in your attitude each and every day. We'll look forward, as I say, to casting off and setting sail on another unpredictable journey starting Thursday evening in Fort Wayne. On that note, remember the game Thursday evening will come your way on 1450 KMRY, 540 South Slope Communications Triple Play show time from Fort Wayne, and a 6 o'clock first pitch as the Colonels open the season's second half on 1450 KMRY this Thursday evening. The final again today, Beloit wins 3-2 in 10 innings. For Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill, for Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey, I'm John Rogers wishing you a wonderful rest of your Father's Day, and we look forward to starting the second half of the season with you on Thursday night, 540 South Slope Communications Triple Play show time from Fort Wayne on 1450 KMRY. Final today, in 10 innings, Beloit wins it 3-2. You've enjoyed Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.